fact, I haven't done a live stream in a while. The last time I had a live stream, let's see. And damn near about 2 weeks ago, maybe going on 3 weeks. That's a long time for me. Usually I stream every day, right? January 26th was the last time I streamed. Now, what's the date today? I know because I got the list here. What is the date? It is February. Wow, time flies. Today's the 13th. So, yeah, it's been about a little over 2 weeks. Damn near about 3 weeks now. The last time that I streamed. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. I said the NFL was rigged. And I thought for sure the Kansas City Chiefs were going to win. And not only did they lose, but they lost pretty bad. I mean, the Eagles pretty much dominated all three sides of the ball, like offense, especially on defense. Jesus, Lord have mercy. They were getting the Patrick Mahomes. How many times did he get sacked? How many interceptions did he throw? Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, I did not think the Eagles were going to win in such dominating fashion, but surprisingly they did. Howdy. The Eagles won, what was it, like 40 to what, 22? Did not see that coming. It was definitely a shocker, I might say. So Philadelphia, man, you got yourself 2 rings. You got not just one, but 2. So you can't, people can't say, oh, it's just a fluke. The one year that Philly won, now they won 2. So congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles fan base on winning. There's a bunch of Eagles fans that I know online. There's just too many of you guys. The Archafiend, Eagles fan for life, Desert Eagle 90, and you got Go Philly fan. There's a lot of you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Thanasis, he's from, I forgot what country he's from. This is somewhere above Israel. I forgot what it was called. But he's a diehard Eagles fan too. So, yeah, congratulations to you guys on winning. Nitro Freak, another one. Haven't talked to him in a while. Yeah, man, you guys won a Super Bowl. You're second. The NFC East is the only division where every team has a ring. That has a nice feel to it, doesn't it? A ring. But, yeah, I expected I thought Kansas City was going to win. It'll be the first team ever in NFL history to repeat or three-peat. I don't know if, maybe they said, oh, well, we couldn't put in the script for the Chiefs to win because that'd be too obvious, so we'll just let the Eagles win. I don't know. But I didn't expect the Eagles to just dominate in the way they did. I did not see that coming. I don't know if anybody else saw that coming. It sure as hell wasn't me. I didn't see the Philadelphia Eagles just dominate. I thought, I had the score being 27-24. Kansas City. That's what I thought it was going to be. It come down to like a last-second field goal. Patrick Mahomes makes the game-winning drive. But, I did not watch the halftime show responding to Marvin on Facebook. No, I did not. I did not watch the halftime show. It was Kendrick Lamar. Allegedly, he had some beef going on with Drake. That's been going on for God knows how long. And, I don't really care too much for halftime shows. It's not really my thing. What was it last year was Beyonce. She had a halftime show. I mean, it just really, a Super Bowl halftime show is not what it used to be in like the early 2000s and probably before that, where it actually meant something to watch it. When will the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl? Well, they may be coming close. They still got 5 rings in the NFC East. So that's 1 more than the Giants, 2 more than the Washington, and still 3 ahead of Eagles. So they're still the 5-time defending Super Bowl champions. I have to say. But yeah, man, people have been wondering where I've been. Usually I used to live stream every day. Wonder where I've been, and I'm honest with you, just been working. Just been at work. Working a lot of hours. I've only had one day off a week the last couple of weeks. And today I went to Galveston, and we went to the Hubcap Grill, which I posted shorts on that. Y'all can see the videos, food videos I do. And then we went to the Hearsay. It's got a beautiful balcony where you can like drink. We just sit up there. I'll have one drink. I just have like a Grey Goose with orange juice, and I'll usually get a double, and I'll just drink. I'll just drink one, you know, and I'll just sit on the balcony. But it's real cold at night. It's real cold at night because remember it's right by the Gulf of Mexico, and it's blowing that those waves from Galveston. You know, the beaches are constantly blowing that wind gust in. So, and then when you're elevated on the second floor, you feel that wind gust coming in. So it's extremely cold. Even though when I had my jacket on, I was extremely cold. And as you can see, what's new? Everyone's been asking. Well, I gave up energy drinks. Not FY if anybody gives a shit, but I finally gave up drinking energy drinks. I will be going on 3 weeks on Monday, surprisingly. I gave up energy drinks and got to the point to where I wasn't even getting a caffeine rush on it anymore. I was drinking up to 2 to 3 energy drinks a day. It was not only costing me a lot of money, but it was an expensive habit. But it was just my heart was giving me issues, heart palpitations. I also had issues with sleep, not being able to sleep well. I was getting too many crash burns, and it was time to just give it up. I just didn't feel the need for it. Now, of course, I need a little bit of energy. So they said, well, where are you going to get your energy from, Rose? Well, that's when I went to coffee and decided to drink half a cup in the morning, half a cup at night before I go to work. So I figure if I could limit my usage to the caffeine, then that'd be fine. But when I came off the energy drinks, it was like coming off dope. I had a caffeine withdrawal, and it was like my head was hurting real bad, and I was like in bed for 2 days straight on my off days. Just slept the entire day. I had like a caffeine headache. They call it caffeine withdrawal. And so it took about 2 days to get over it. Now I'm over it. I no longer drink energy drinks anymore. Rachel says the hat looks cute on you. It looks better than those stupid fitted caps you wear. You know what? The crazy thing about it is I thought I would never wear hats. I always thought they were goofy, cowboy look. And I never thought I'd see myself wearing a cowboy hat. And finally, I was at, we were at the Hubcap Grill, and my brother says, "Hey, it's kind of cold out there. Do you have your hat?" I'm like, "No, I don't have my fitted cap anymore, right?" And he said, "No, why don't you wear a cowboy hat?" And I said, "I don't know, man. I don't think I want to wear it." So then I wore the cowboy hat, and it kind of makes you feel a little weird because it feels like a big sombrero, right? When you wear a cowboy hat, it kind of feels like a sombrero or like half a sombrero. And so I didn't really have too much of a feel for it until I got about an hour into wearing the hat. And I said, you know what? This actually kind of looks cool. Cowboy hats. So now I'm probably going to drop the fitted cap, tight fit wear. Now I'm going to wear cowboy hats. So I now have elevated myself to cowboy hats. And I'm probably going to go buy, this was like $30, but I'm probably going to invest in probably a more expensive cowboy hat. They go up to $200, $300. Probably going to buy one of them fancy ones and wear a cowboy hat. And I said, well, I'm probably not going to be able to wear a cowboy hat like everywhere, but if I'm going out to a bar or something like that, or let's say I'm going to the Strand in Galveston, I might go ahead and wear a cowboy hat. Cowboy hats look good, by the way. So I said, you go like that with a hat. Or, I don't have to learn that. So I'm going to wear cowboy hats. So, cowboy hats are now kind of grown on to me now. I kind of like the country look. Now, I guess maybe I'm getting older. I'm maturing a little bit more. So I'm kind of getting away from the saggy look to now more of a casual / maybe country wear now. Maybe sort of elevate a little bit more. Maybe it's a new interest. I don't know. But anyways, I took an 18-day hiatus. I took almost 3 weeks off from here, and since then I've given up energy drinks. I'm wearing cowboy hats now. Just been enjoying life, just being away from here. I like social media. I like making videos. But I'll be honest, it's a lot of time and stress and effort, and I just figure, well, I could be doing other things with my life than just live streaming. So maybe I need to focus more on my life, instead of doing this. I mean, not that I don't like making videos, but it's just, you know, maybe I shouldn't have to commit all the time to it. Take breaks in between, if that makes sense. And I wasn't even going to make a video for another month, but I just said, you know what, I'll just do one tonight. Fuck it. Something to make. But yeah, we went to the Hubcap Grill. I had chicken fingers with sweet potato fries, which are better than regular French fries. And then I had barbecue sauce, sliced tomatoes, 2 big meat patties with grilled onions and cheese. And it was really good. And then after that, we went to this place called the Hearsay. It's kind of uppity restaurant. You gotta spend some money there. I'm not gonna lie. It can cost up to $60 for a glass of scotch. The plates are no less than like 20. I think $17 was the cheapest plate I saw. They go up to like $35 for steak, ribeye, stuff like that. So you're gonna be spending a little bit of money, but the food quality's good. The drinks are good. The setting's pretty cool. And they had a guy in there playing the saxophone. I thought that was pretty cool. They had like live music. I guess that's what you want to say, live music. So I went up there, I had a Grey Goose and orange juice, make it a double. And I was just up there just looking at the beautiful night sky, man, just enjoying my day off and not thinking about anything, man. Just enjoying life, being alive, But anyways, man, how do you Eagles fans feel about winning the bowl? Like, how do you feel about having your second Super Bowl? Is it surreal? Are you guys I hope you guys aren't riding in the streets. Like, I saw a video of the Eagles fans, like, in the streets, like, knocking down street poles. And one guy climbed up the pole and he fell and he got put on life support and he died, I heard, allegedly. And then I also saw, like, them fighting with police officers and stuff. And I'm like, I get it. Your team won. There's probably alcohol involved. Most likely when stuff like that happens, it's 9 times out of 10 alcohol is involved. I get it. You're excited your team won. You want to act a clown, act a fool, whatever. You want to get ignorant. All these terms they call now with the new terminology as we go on in time. And new words are invented. And it's just like, well, you can act a clown, but why don't you just do that in your own home, man, and just have a drink and watch the game or watch the replay of the game or do a live stream or something. I don't know, man. It's just, acting a fool in the streets like that, destruction of property, fighting officers. Is it really worth it? To me, I don't think it is over a football game. I mean, I think, your team won the Super Bowl and I'm all happy for it. But at the same time, it's just, I just don't think it's worth getting in trouble over, but that's maybe my opinion on that. But nonetheless, Eagles fans, how does it feel? Desert Eagle, whoever watching this video, how does it feel knowing y'all won? Is it still kind of surreal getting that second ring? Is that surreal? Yes, no. I'll tell you what, my team hasn't gotten a championship yet. Not yet. So we're going on, 23 years. Texans don't have none. We'll be on our 24th season next year and still no rings. Still waiting for it. So I don't know when our time is coming, but I'll be patiently waiting for that day. So the times and schedules come out in May. Let me watch it in May. And what was I going to say? So we watch it in May and see the times and dates. Now, I'm really looking forward to times and dates. So I always look for week 1. Who are the Texans going to play in week 1? And so, it's always, I always say, let's just play a division opponent. Let's just get that game out of the way. I saw the draft, mock draft, or not the mock draft, but the draft board. I think Tennessee is up number 1 to pick. And I believe, to me, I think they're going to get a quarterback. I think if you're Tennessee, there's nothing wrong with Levi, but you have to have another option. He still has a lot of maturing and growing up to do. I think if you'd be foolish on Tennessee not to draft a quarterback. And then, Cleveland comes up second on the board. I would not be surprised if they go quarterback. They may go defense, especially if they're losing Myles Garrett. They could be trying to find his next replacement, which is possible. They could go DN or an edge rusher, possibly quarterback. But the next pick after that, I believe, goes to the New York Giants. Of course, they're going to draft a quarterback. That just it makes to me that's the move they're going to go. And the New York Giants would have to draft a quarterback. So um, there's going to be a lot of mock drafts coming out, so that's going to be pretty cool. Texans, I believe, were 27 or 26 on the board, so we're low on the list. So to be honest with you, I don't see the Texans trading up because I don't think it makes any sense to like trade up to 15 or 16. I think it makes sense to stay where we're at, play the course. I think we got a lot of good pieces. We can always go in free agency and pick up on an O line. The question is going to be, what are we going to do with, the situation at the receiver position? You got, Nico, who's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but you got the other two, Diggs, that's hurt. He's probably going to be out. I would say he'll probably be back by the beginning of the season. So, Tank Dell, another guy that's been getting hurt off and on. Been having problems with him the last 2 years getting hurt. So, he's our number three. He's our number two, not really number three guy. But, I like him a lot. But, man, if he's just going to keep getting hurt a lot, it's just, I don't know what we're going to do at that. So we might have to go receiver. Probably, I would assume at our pick being so low, we probably have to go receiver if there's decent receivers at that point. So, or we could go O-line. So that would say our draft needs are right there. I think we're filled up on tight ends, running backs. I think we're filled up obviously at the quarterback position, defense. We already got a front seven. Secondary may need a little tune-up, maybe some free safeties, but later rounds. But other than that, I think we got pretty much most of the holes like filled up. But anyways, with that all being said, Philadelphia Eagles, hats off to you and your fan base. Congratulations. Also, I want to say congratulations to Saquon Barkley. The guy had a phenomenal season, could have broke Eric Dickerson's record, and they decided to sit him out. There was a lot of controversy behind that. Even I said, man, let the man play. But obviously they didn't want him getting injured, and so I'm like, well, the only way that it would justify him sitting is if they won the Super Bowl. And I was convinced that wasn't going to happen. So I was like, wow, at least let the man break the rushing record if they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Because I really thought Kansas City was going to win. And I thought Detroit was going to come out of the NFC. So I'm thinking, okay, Detroit and KC in the Super Bowl, Philadelphia probably make NFC Championship game. At least if you give Saquon on his first year, the rushing record, right? Then you would say, okay, well, he's got the rushing record. So why not let him, break the record, right? So at least it gives him something to look forward to going into the offseason, right? But I guess the Eagles decided to go all in on that Super Bowl push and said, well, we're, not going to let y'all, we're not going to be discouraged by the fact that the Lions are favored to win or Kansas City is, favored to three-peat. We're going to play the course and see where it goes. And it worked out for Philly. It worked out for Philly. So they got their ring, and so the rushing record doesn't matter at this point because they got a championship. So Saquon Barkley, his first year as a Philadelphia Eagle has got a championship. That is just insane. The kid is phenomenal. Hearns is also another good one. Jalen Hurts, he's a freaking phenomenal quarterback. I've always said that about the guy. They got just a solid fucking defense and offense, man, and just they hung around that. I think they were the 2 seeds. They were hanging around there. Minnesota was also another one, but they didn't. Obviously, they lost that first round against the Rams. And to be fair, the Rams had a legitimate shot in that final drive to beat Philly, but obviously that didn't happen. But to be fair, Philadelphia won. They got a Super Bowl. They got their second ring. And, that's got to have a good feeling if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, right? So your team has got 2 Lombardis. Probably, obviously, are going to want a third one, right? Because whenever you get a ring, you want another one, and then you get greedy, right? So you want all the rings you can get. And, hats off to you guys. I'm happy for you. I really am, and I hope that Hope everything, goes well for y'all in the offseason, and then y'all try to make a run for it again. Like I said, 2 rings for Philly. So, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I just want to know what it's like to win since I've never won. My team's never won a Super Bowl. We're actually one of 12 teams that have never won. One of 12. That hurts badly. One of 12 teams, just like 12 are in the live stream right now, one of 12 that hasn't won a bowl. And I believe we're one of 4 teams, or 6, one of the 2, that hasn't even gone to a Super Bowl, let alone win. And isn't that sad? We've never gone to an AFC Championship game. We're like literally 0 and freaking 5 in divisional round play, or was it 0 and 6? Wow, that's amazing. We, for some odd reason, can't get over that hump and get to the AFC Championship game. Anyways, if you guys ever come down here, I recommend you go to Galveston. That's a really good spot to go. They got a bunch of places to eat, nice places to go dancing. There's good restaurants out there. And just to get, if you're trying to get like that Bay feel, it's not going to be comparable to like, the Bay and areas of Florida or San Francisco or Southern Cal or California and Long Beach. It's not the same, but it's going to give you a better experience than, let's say, just hanging out in Houston trying to figure out what to do in Houston. So if you're going to go anywhere, I recommend going to Galveston. They got a bunch of beautiful areas out there, especially like if you're in the southern end of when you're going towards Jamaica Beach and all that. You're going much towards like Crystal Beach, and you're going all the way down to the very end. You're going to have a lot more tourist areas to go to down there. So I recommend you guys go to Galveston. Like the Mardi Gras is coming up next week, but unfortunately I won't be able to go to Mardi Gras, but I will be going to midget wrestling. That's going to be at the Scotty Saloon in Rosenberg. So if anybody's living in Houston, you feel free to go to the Scotty Saloon and go check out midget wrestling. In case you guys are curious, have you ever seen the movie Nacho Libre with Jack Black? Has anybody seen that movie? Yes, no? Y'all seen it? Okay. Well, if y'all seen the movie, the midget that's in that movie, that's his company. It's called Micromania. And it's the first time I've ever, it's my second time ever going to midget wrestling, and it's pretty exciting. It's pretty fun. It's something that I've never been to, and I had fun the last time I went, and now this is the first time they're doing the event since, I think, October, last time I went. So, yeah, it's been a while. So they come like every 3 or 4 months. I don't want to miss the event. I want to go. I want to attend the show. I want to be there. It's real fun. But yeah, I gave up energy drinks. I just been spending more time with myself and just finding myself, blah, 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 blah. Now, look, I'm picking up the cowboy look. And, yeah, everybody wanted to know what my thoughts were the Super Bowl. Well, I was shocked. I thought that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to win. Thought they were going to three-peat. I went on a big rant about how the referees are being investigated and how Kansas City and the rest are rigging the games. Now they're going to say, well, see, it's not rigged because if it was, then we would have won. So you're going to hear that noise. So people were DMing me like, we told you it wasn't rigged. Rose, we told you it wasn't rigged. We told you the NFL wasn't rigged. And I'm like, well, maybe they might have, that it might have been obvious so that they took the script out. But then again, the Chiefs played horrible. That first time I believe we've ever saw where, the Eagles just flat out just dominated. Oh, let's see. Maybe get a job. I already have a job, thank you. Clown costume. God bless you. What's up, bro? I'm glad the Eagles beat the Chiefs. How have you been, bro? Been doing all right, man. Chiefs are a weak team. I had to reset this. My bad, man. The Eagles used to be winless the Super Bowl. Oh, well, hey, at least they got 2. TikTok is back on the app. Oh, shit, it's back. No shit. Okay. It's back on the app. And you hear that little pause? It's back on the app. Did you know that? It's back on the app, man. It said TikTok is back. I don't really make videos on TikTok, but occasionally I do watch videos on TikTok just to, see what, videos that I'm interested in. So from time to time, I'll go and check those out, you know? But I don't really get on TikTok as much as I used to. Does that make sense? I had an account. I did some videos on there, but it just, I don't know. For some reason, TikTok just wasn't my thing. Hold on. Let me let my cat up. See? Look. He's in a pissed off mood. He's a pissed off man. You don't give him attention, it's the end of the world. He just acts like a big giant baby. Just throws himself on the floor and he's kicking and screaming. That's the thing. When you spoil animals, they end up like little kids. Like kind of like children. You all right, little paws? You know you're going to be 14 this year, sir. 14. Can you believe that? And this cat has no cataracts. He has no issues at all. And is going to be 14 this year. And he's healthy as a horse. And, take care of him well. He could probably live maybe another 5 if we're lucky. Make more videos of Little Paw, sure. I mean, he's just a baby right now. Well, he'll probably be the president, right? Here's the president in 2028. There's the hand right there. There's the hand. Yeah, he's in a bad mood right now. Like I said, you gotta give him constant attention, or he throws a fit. If you're on your cell phone, he tries to rip the cord out the wall. I mean, he's just a nuisance. Like he's just a public nuisance, man. Nuisance number one, and he just requires a lot of attention. If you don't give him food, he starts slamming his food bowl down. He's just I've never seen somebody that spoiled before. That this boy just throws fits and temper tantrums if he doesn't get his way. This is how he is. I don't know why he's like that. But hey, there's a dog that is currently viral. Have you guys seen him? Cutest little English bulldog. His name is Buddy. And I think his TikTok is buddy.oso, like OSO. And it's a bulldog, and he throws a temper tantrum when he doesn't get his way, and he'll start stomping his feet. He'll roll his eyes, and then he'll turn like this, and then he'll start bucking up. And he's just the cutest little thing, man. And that dog's got thousands of followers, and he got instant viral overnight for throwing a temper tantrum. And I even subbed to his damn channel. I'm like, I'm gonna watch some of Buddy Uso, man. He's a very popular dog, and he's very cute. He's an English bulldog. And then whenever he doesn't get his way, he throws and she starts screaming at the top of his lungs. And he's like a small child. So yeah, y'all guys look him up. His name's Buddy. Well, his name's Buddy, but his YouTube is Buddy Uso. O-S-O. Make sure to type that in. But yeah, I just been chilling, man. Just listening, jamming music, man. When I was at Galveston. Had some good food. And then, I just wanted to make this video, just tell you guys about the Eagles. And, congratulations again to Philadelphia, man. You guys did the damn thing. You did the damn thing, man. You won the whole thing. And, it's, I bet for you guys it's exciting knowing you won too. I just feel the beginning. Maybe it's the past. When the playing field is level with the best, no matter the color, you will see it's not about a handout. It's about giving talent equal. I'm trying to figure out where you're going with that. Are you an Eagles fan? Are you saying if the refs call the game fair? Because if so, I agree. Marvin says, do you think the NFL's rigged? I think personally, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that. Maybe I'm wrong for saying this. I think gambling destroyed sports. I think when you allowed casinos and all that to do point spreads and all this, it kind of destroyed the integrity of the game. Like over the long haul, I don't want to say the refs are in cahoots of throwing games, but they do control the Vegas odds, because that's what they basically are. Is whether it's an umpire, or referee, or anything. And so, like, you'll see like clips of like certain point spreads where certain teams were favored. And the refs will make some bogus calls to make sure that it would look like they're making Vegas win those spreads, so the house wins. And so you can kind of see that. Like it's normally more common in NBA basketball that they do this. And I've seen, tapes on clips on this on YouTube where they're showing how they're rigging the point spread. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, if they're doing that in basketball, then they got to be doing that in football too. And if they're doing that in football, they got to be doing it in baseball. So, yeah, there's is sort of an element to the game where you feel like the integrity is in question. I would say that gambling has somewhat, to a degree, plays an influence on some of the outcomes of certain games. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that there is a market. I think, and some people believe, like, for example, in basketball, the trade between Anthony Davis and what's his name, to Luka for the Dallas Mavericks Lakers trade. And it happened just before the trade deadline. Now, remember, the NBA has been facing a lot of low ratings, and they've lost 53% viewership. So no one's watching basketball. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, well, first of all, NBA has no defense. There's no defense in basketball, and players are taking off multiple games. The games are ending in like 150 to 140. The All-Star game is a joke. There's no rivals in the NBA. All the players are all friends and shit. So there's no hatred for one another like you did back in the 90s, where you saw the Reggie Millers, the Patrick Ewings and stuff like that, the Olajuwons and the Shaquille O'Neals. There was natural hate for each other. You don't see that in today's game. Players are all buddy, and friends. And again, it's just like, so where's the competitive edge? Where's like the natural hatred you had for this team? You don't see that anymore. So the rivalries are gone. And there's no storylines in the NBA. So I think, people had said, well, the reason why the NBA did this trade was to bring the ratings up. And maybe from a certain case, maybe there's some truth behind that. Maybe that the trade between Luka and Anthony Davis was, my opinion, could be a ratings booster to try to give people a reason why to watch basketball in January or December, because that cup that they play for doesn't really matter. What's that? The Emirates Cup. They try to do that tournament, and they're trying to get people to watch basketball in November and October because they're trying to compete with the NFL. And so, I mean, the Emirates Cup is okay. I'm not saying that it's a cool concept. I just don't like it because it just doesn't make any sense to me. And like, you have the games going on the same week regular season games are being played. I can understand if you took a whole month off and said it's going to be nothing but tournament games, and you had it in that month and all the regular season games resume after that. I would say, okay, well, that makes sense. But you got Tuesday and Friday Emirates Cup games, and then they have a game on Monday, and they may have a game on Wednesday. And I'm like, well, it just confuses the whole thing now. So it's just like, I didn't like it. I didn't like the setup. I didn't like the way it was constructed. I thought 4 games wasn't enough. And you got teams that are 3-1 that don't even make the knockout stage. So I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense to me. So I just said the whole thing is dumb. The concept is stupid. It makes no sense. And so what does the Emirates Cup mean at the end? It means nothing. Like, it means nothing to win an Emirates Cup in December 17th, or I think the 17th is the last day. They start the season on November 2nd, or for the tournament. To me, it makes no sense. And it's like, what does it mean to win the Emirates Cup? Well, ask the Lakers that last year when they won. Doesn't matter, right? Because Boston ended up winning it all the way. So what does it mean this year for the Bucks that won the Emirates Cup? If they don't win an NBA title, it don't mean nothing, because the NBA title is the main one in June. And players are getting hurt, so that's another issue, and they're tanking and sitting out games. And, it's questioning the 82-game season. Is the 82-game season even worth having? And so that's why I think that in a sense that, people are now starting to question the NBA, in terms of like, is this sustainable? It's just not exciting to watch all the games. It's not. Maybe every now and then there's a certain day, there may be a team or two that might be playing. You're like, okay, I'll watch that, but it's not going to be your number one priority, especially if football season's going on. So you're going to wait till after the NFL season, And then basketball will probably speed up around the All-Star break. And then after that, when teams are fighting for the seed-in, and then the playoffs, then that's when it's going to kind of matter. The viewership will probably go up. But 82 games, I just think it's just too many. You get a watered-down playoffs as a result of injuries from superstars not being able to play due to the fact that there's too many games. So I think the best bet would be probably to shorten the season, I think, from 82 to 66 games. They did that back in 2011, 2012. I think they should do that again and make it permanent. Just cut the NBA season a third of the game shorter, and that way there's less games. So players shouldn't have an excuse to sit out for a third of the season. Which is, when Luka got traded, he missed 27 games with the Dallas Mavericks. So Luka missed 27 games. And Anthony Davis, who actually hasn't been really missing that much this year, this is probably his best year he's had since 2020. Kind of made more sense for Dallas to make the move. Luka missed 27 out of the 47 games. So his conditioning, his health, he wasn't really up to par. And so they just said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and make that trade and then just go from there. And I think that was probably the best move for I think that was the best move for Dallas. You got Anthony Davis. Yeah, he got hurt in his debut, but if you bring him back come playoff time and you got Kyrie and you got Clay and you got Marshall and you got Lively, bro, they got a cold squad. And then they got Max Christie that they got from the Lakers, who's pretty good off the bench. So you're going to have like a solid core team. You got Marshall that's also contributing off the bench. So you're going to have all these good quality pieces. You're going to have Clay as your big three, AD, and you're going to have Kyrie. That's going to be a good recipe. And the Mavericks can go as the number 8 seed, 7 in the playoffs, and be a nasty dominant threat as a low seed to a Memphis or possibly the number 1 seed, OKC, who they have beaten in the playoffs. Was in fact not a good decision, I'm sorry to say, but I feel you as a fan, though. Yeah, like I said, but yeah, it's in terms of the back, the Philadelphia Eagles. I know the title of the video kind of spun more on other things than football. Yeah, if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, this has probably got to be one of the biggest giant obstacles besides the year y'all beat New England, which y'all were probably not favored to win in that game either. So 2017 was the revenge game against the 2005 season that, in my opinion, the Eagles should have beaten the Patriots that year. With Donovan McNabb, Freddie Mitchell, was the running back y'all had, Deuce Staley. I think that year the Eagles should have won that year. I think, but the 2017 season, I believe, was magical under Nick Foles. That makes sense. And then some people said, oh, well, that was just a fluke. And so now they got one against the Chiefs team who they were not favored to win it all against. And I think most people, if you're a gambling man, you were going to gamble on the Chiefs to win. So the Eagles had won, 2 games against 2 teams who were pretty much, what's the word I want to use? Growing dynasties. And so that's going to help the Eagles sort of build their own dynasty by beating these giant dynasties in the making, Kansas City and New England, and stopping the Chiefs from being the first team ever to three-peat and possibly being argumentatively probably like the best dynasty of all time in that reign. So the Eagles put a stop to that too, those talks. That conversation ended after this. This was definitely a and then 2022 as well. Forgot to mention that. Thanks for bringing that up. But yeah, definitely Philadelphia. I don't think they're going to have that conversation as a dynasty talk for Philly unless they win back-to-back. I think it would, the Eagles would have to win probably next year or the year after. Like a short-term 3-year span of 2 rings. I think maybe I think the Eagles would have to win a third one for that dynasty talk. I think like they'll count the fluke season in 2017. This year would be like, they'll say, oh, that's your only one Super Bowl you really won. And so then I would say if they won again, like if let's say they were to repeat next year, then definitely, you can make those talks for dynasty talk. Yeah, absolutely. So again, Eagles will still have a lot. I mean, I don't say they would have a lot to prove, but to themselves that they can repeat. as much as you say, well, one championship's good, but nothing is the same until you win 2 in a row. It's a different feel. You know what I'm saying? So if the Eagles can do that, and if they win back-to-back next year, then yeah, definitely they're going to be looked as, you're going to have to start talking about dynasty talk and stuff like that. So, yeah, I appreciate it. Can't be objective about team. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was rooting for the Eagles, man. I'm a Chiefs hater, because they knocked us out in the divisional round. So, like I said, and realistically, I was going to laugh if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl because I was going to be like, well, I guess, the Chiefs won 3 in a row, so now they won 5 in a row, 4 and 5 in a row. So might as well just not watch football the next 2 years. But, now that Philly won, maybe maybe it just creates a little doubt. Maybe it's not rigged. I don't know. Or maybe they rigged it for the Eagles. But it's like, damn, well, you rigged it that bad for Philadelphia to dominate? This is a Super Bowl where you've seen dominance on all sides of the ball. I am talking about defense, offense, special teams. Kansas City might have them beat on special teams because they punted the ball more. But the Eagles dominated offensively and defensively. But definitely defensively. Oh, my God. Patrick Mahomes looked like shit. For the first time, I could say that. Like, he looked terrible. That's the first time he was running for his life. And receivers were not making catches, which was true. Kelsey dropped some big passes right in the bread butter. But Mahomes was running for his life. And not only that, but there were times where he couldn't get rid of the ball. He was getting sacked, strip force fumbles, interceptions. I haven't seen Mahomes play a bad game like that in a long time. At 20 free agents going in the offseason, at 5 players that make up 70% of their cap. Yep. And not to mention that, I think the Mahomes is like his first game. He threw like an interception, had a fumble. But then to be fair, Jalen Hurts did throw an interception, his first since the 2021 playoffs. So, yeah, there was that too. Yeah. But, to be fair, I mean, the Eagles dominated the entire game. And at halftime, you can see that the Chiefs look zero confidence at all. They didn't have any confidence at all. That's the first time I could actually say that. They look defeated. I've never seen that before. Usually Chiefs will be down. And even when they're trailing, they don't look defeated. They look defeated at halftime. That's the first time I've seen that from the Chiefs. And they were down by 10 at halftime to the Niners and won that first bowl against the Niners in 2020. And then they beat us down 28-0. There was still that sense of urgency. That was the year they won the bowl. And they came back and beat us. We were up 28-0 and fumbled the fucking game. That was probably the year the Texans really should have won the Super Bowl, was 2020. Or at least got to Super Bowl to face the Niners. But that is what it is. Like I said, this is the first time I've seen the Chiefs defeated offensively. And Kelsey's age was showing. Patrick Mahomes just looked, he had no confidence at all. Or he just looked defeated. The points they were getting at the end were all garbage touchdowns. The Eagles defense were letting up due to the fact that they wanted to, make more time come off the clock. And it was just like the last 2 touchdowns really, I could have just didn't care less. Really, they only had like maybe one legitimate touchdown in that game. The other 2 were just garbage time. And that's just the first time I've seen the Chiefs defeated. Like, even at the score ended 40-22, it really felt like it was 40-0. Like, because it was they were just defeated that bad. And, it's, that's the first time I've seen that. This is the first time that I've seen Cowboys fans rooting for Philly. And I've seen Commanders fans rooting for the Eagles because they hated the Chiefs that bad. The same thing for the Giants. They were actually rooting for Saquon Barkley to get a ring. First time I've ever seen a bunch of division teams rooting for it. And the NFC East is definitely a division of teams that hate each other's guts. Hate each other's guts. You know, the funny thing, I was talking to a Cowboys fan the other day. His name is Drew. He's real cool friend of mine. We work together at the jail. And he was like, do you know back in the 90s, we hated the Eagles so bad that we would grab the Philadelphia cream cheese and we would throw it in the garbage every time they came to Dallas or we were to go up there, we playing them that week. So the stores wouldn't stock up the Philadelphia cream cheese, right? And that's how bad they hated the Eagles. So he was telling me about this. This was back in the 80s and the 90s. And so the Philadelphia cream cheese would be in the back and they wouldn't stock the shelves with the cream cheese because it would say Philadelphia cream cheese. And then here's the kicker. Come to find out, Philadelphia cream cheese isn't from Philadelphia. Just like Pace Picante sauce is not from Texas. It's from New York City. So like they said that commercial, it was made in San Antonio, like New York City, because they didn't know it was made in New York City. So Philadelphia cream cheese was not made in Philly, from what I was told. Now, I don't know if it's true, but so Cowboys fans were throwing away Philadelphia cream cheese because they thought it was from Philly. Well, it did say Philadelphia on it, but allegedly it's not from Philadelphia. So that's what I was told. So I don't know, just FYI. But that Super Bowl was I was shocked. I was shocked to see that Philly was going to win. I thought that the NFL was going to capitalize on that three-peat. I even made a video saying it made sense to rig the game. And, because it looked like they rigged all the others, might as well just finish the whole thing. So now, Philadelphia took out the corporate giant. They took out Brady. They took out Mahomes. That's pretty cool. That's impressive. And so for the Eagles to, I'm sure if they would have won in 04 or 05, that would have been the icing on the cake, because you'd have had Nick Foles, McNabb, and Hurts with a ring. Jalen Hurts. So then, that would have been really cool. In fact, I'm sure if Eagles fans were to trade, if they could trade 2 Super Bowls for that one in 04, I probably would do it because that was a magical team that year that should have had one. So, to be fair, I think that you got to do your research, I suppose. But even from Philly, that's an odd choice. Yeah, they used to throw the Philadelphia cream cheese away. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was hilarious. Philly fans were throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. I heard about that. That was back in the 60s, I heard. They threw a whole bunch of snowballs at him. What's up with that, man? Why y'all throwing snowballs at Santa for? You know what I'm saying? Why y'all throwing snowballs at Santa Claus, man? What did he do? He didn't do nothing to y'all, man. He's all throwing snowballs at Santa. But yeah, those riots in Philly, man, that was crazy. Those fans were getting buck wild. My only explanation for that is most likely a bunch of young people that got alcohol induced and just acted a clown. I personally wouldn't have done that. I would have just sat at the bar and had a couple drinks and just would have chilled there. I wouldn't even be on the streets doing none of that shit. Come on, little pause. You're making my leg go to sleep. Damn that fucking cat. The Saints was drunk and yelling at people. The Santa was drunk. I didn't know that. So Santa Claus was probably... Oh, so Santa had a little bit too much to drink. You know what y'all should have did? If Santa Claus is still alive from the 60s, y'all should have gotten Santa Claus and then had him go out for those riots. He probably started that shit up. It's actually an interesting story. I didn't know. Well, I got to look it up. Is it on YouTube? That's pretty cool. Maybe that guy's still alive. But yeah, it was 60 years ago. But it's a funny story, man. It's just like, damn, they threw snowballs at Santa. Like, what the? Yep. Hey, Philly got 2 rings, man. So there are Eagles fans that talk about misery about the Eagles just to get views and likes. Yeah, there's a lot of people who do that for their teams because unfortunately, social media is driven more by hate. So you get more You get more those, what are they, clickbait, those instant knee-jerk reaction from angry videos than from people who are posting positive content. Unfortunately, that's the way social media is driven. If you look at most content makers, they're more drama-based videos about everything in life and how their life sucks and stuff. And so, of course, you're going to get views and subscriptions from a bunch of angry people that are in the same situation. But after a while, that shit kind of gets old after a while, man. You want to start producing more positive content, which explains why I set a bunch of my videos to private from the past, because the new job that I got, unfortunately, I can't post the old content I used to post, so I got to change the way I think. So, like I said, I gave up energy drinks. I've gone 3 weeks without energy drinks, so yay to me. It feels a lot better now. I'm not having problems with crash burns, heart palpitations, caffeine addiction, all that. Of course, I still need some energy, so I tend to drink a little bit of coffee, but I'll have half a cup in the morning, half a cup in the afternoon. Sometimes I'll have a canned Diet Coke. I got away from energy drinks, man. It was the best feeling I ever had. I was at 2, 3 energy drinks a day, and I came off a caffeine rush, and I just said I'm tired of wasting money and spending money on 3 cans a day, and I just got sick of it. It was just got tired of it, and it was at the point where I wasn't even getting a fill off of it anymore. And I'm not going to drink 4 energy drinks a day. I'm not doing that. I've seen some people do that. I'm not doing that. So I just said it's just a disgusting habit to have, and I just don't want to do it anymore. So I completely gave it up. Will I ever drink an energy drink again? I hope not. The last time I gave up for a week, and then I went back to drinking them again. This time, it's been 3 weeks, and I have no intention on looking back. So I'm just going to stick to drinking coffee and stuff like that. I shot out a little bit of caffeine, but I've been just, not drinking as much. So I have half a cup of coffee in the morning, and I'll have half in the afternoon. And so I've been doing that for a while. So, what kind of content were you posting? Shit, all types of content, drama-based videos. I had politic videos. I had what other videos did I had? I had conspiracy theorist videos, NWO takeover, podcast with other people talking about that stuff. I privated all that because it's just the type of job I have now. I can't afford to have those videos continuing. So I just said, to me, it's a little bit more better that I just put them to private for now, and maybe hopefully in the future when your freedom of speech actually means something, maybe then I'll take them off for private. But until then, I just have to just stick with unfortunately, I have to stick with what's the current base is. If I could just say whatever I wanted to on here, and then it would just be like considered free speech, then I have no problem with it. But if it's going to be to a point to where it's going to compromise my life, it's just no point in me doing them anymore. It's nothing personal. People have asked, where are all your old videos at, man? They're fucking the shit. And I had like 4,000 or 5,000 views. I just put them all. I deleted most of them, and then the really good ones that I kind of want to keep still, I put them to private. And then maybe I'll put them to public one day when I think times get a little bit better and people can start respecting each other's opinions, even if they're indifferent to each other. Until that day happens, which probably not going to be anytime soon, most likely those videos are going to remain private till then. So, unfortunately. And so, it was just getting to the point to where, controversial takes, NWO takeover, the oligarchs and Trump, Biden, Obama. I had all that shit on there. I had good videos too. Good content, man. Again, it's just, being in my line of work now. If I worked at Walmart, I didn't give a shit. I was talking all types of shit. And, and I didn't care. And my boss at Walmart was watching my videos and he thought they were hilarious. And he was like, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to fire you over this. But now that I actually have a career job and stuff, I have to really consider all that now. And, they were like, no more political videos until the election's over. And then I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll do that. And then after that, people were still like getting, I guess, upset over the videos. And then I just said, you know what? I just said, this isn't worth it anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and just put all my videos to private, the good ones. Delete most of them. I think they're pointless. And then just make regular videos until this just dies down. You know what I'm saying? You know? Say whatever you want unless it's illegal. Controversial takes. Well, nah, it's not that easy, especially like when the society we live in now, where people get offensive and they want to try to get you fired and all that shit. It's just not worth it anymore. So I just said, you know what, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and lay low and just maybe it's that time for me to just move on with my life and do things that I enjoy. I'm gonna start trying to do like more sports talks, travel videos. I may do some podcasts here or there. I jump on Moohead Radio and we talk sports all the time. So I jump on his shows every now and then when I can. If you go to my main video thread, you'll see the last one me and him did. It was a pretty good conversation we had. We were talking like Cavs because he's a Cleveland fan of all the teams there. So I was like, fuck it, we'll talk Cleveland sports. I don't care. So I'll jump on his show and we'll talk sports when I can on the days that I can. And, so other than that, I've just been kind of keeping low. You're moving away from that stuff. Perhaps it's the reason it was upsetting people. I can draw people in on my videos, especially on those types of videos. I kept the one about Sasquatch on there. I said, what if Sasquatch was real? And believe it or not, that live stream got like 2,000 views. I was like, that's pretty cool. And I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I just said I was covering the Sasquatch sightings that were 1960 10-second clips of Sasquatch walking through the woods, and I was just reviewing it, and I didn't think I was gonna get that many views, and I had like 2,500 views on there. So I said, you know what? I'll keep Sasquatch on there. So every now and then I may do videos on like the Loch Ness Monster and stuff, and I'll try to get a little bit more creative on my content. But on the conspiracy theory videos, politics videos, I'm sort of stray away from that for now. Just for now, until I find the right time that I think it's appropriate to do so. Because it doesn't matter really if Trump's in office or Biden, censorship is still going to be prevalent in our society. It's just part of, being a content maker, you have to accept. And, I just said, you know what, if I was an independent content maker making really good money, like some of these guys do, they can kind of get away with the content they make because that's their main source and they're protected. I could maybe I could do that. But if I'm not making no money on here, and then I'm risking and I'm jeopardizing my future with my current, I'm not going to do that. I just says it's just not safe. It doesn't make any logical sense, for me to do that because unfortunately, I'm not a big enough channel where I can protect myself. So therefore, I have to play ball for a while. So I'm going to be playing ball for some time. I'm late. What's going on, Crispy? Long time no see. There's no conversation anymore. I agree. Sorry for the late. I mean, what did you want to say that? Nah, I'd just rather not. Like I said, I just, people get offended by stories or topics pertaining to politics, conspiracy theories, videos. It's a touchy subject, especially in politics, realm. Y'all all know where I stand on who I voted for. I voted for Rand Paul. And like I said, he wasn't even on the ballot. But I wrote his name in on the ballot when I went to go vote. And they told me he's not even in there. I'm like, well, I don't care. I'm going to vote for him because that's who I wanted to pick. So, again, it is what it is. So neither president on the ballot I was going to vote for. Absolutely not. But I would have voted for Rand Paul if he was on the ballot. But unfortunately, he's not. So... it is what it is. I just got to take it you got to take it for what it is. So, that's where I kind of stand on that. By writing in someone not on the ballot was effectively a vote for Trump. Yeah, I don't think so. They wouldn't have voted for him because I don't believe it would have counted for him. Let's see, one political note. Congratulations, also RFK Jr. I saw something like that. Sasquatch isn't controversial, so maybe put energy into that. Fear mongering, trying to get a rise out of people with hateful rhetoric. It's possible. Like I said, I was thinking about doing some more. Well, there's a guy that does flat Earth videos. He kind of wants me He's asked me in the past, like, do you want to like do those videos? And it's like, I mean, uh, I don't know if I really want to step into that realm because I don't have a lot of knowledge in flat Earth. They talk about the ice wall and all that. It's something I would have to probably study a little bit more. Um, I don't necessarily know if the Earth is round or flat, although the images would appear to be some sort of oval sphere. But like I said, I'm more into like superstition. I'll also watch a lot of World War II, World War One movies. I'm a historian. Well, I wouldn't call myself a historian because I don't remember a lot of the knowledge that I used to have on it. But I watch a lot of World War II movies on here, World War One. I watch a lot of zombie flicks, B-rated two movies, independent films on YouTube that's been coming out recently. The movies have been actually getting pretty interesting. So I've been watching a lot of World War II movies. That's what I'm into. World War One movies, Civil War movies, stuff like that. You know, been getting into that as of recent. Zombie movies, of course. I'm always a zombie fan. And I still watch a lot of the 80s horror films because, you know, 80s horror movie rocks. Don't go on flat Earth. That's why I'd say I'm going to stay away from that. I'm counting as two candidates. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, it's there's been a lot going on in the world, man, as of recently. A lot. Lot. Yep. There's been a lot going on. I heard what Greenland said, the Greenland Prime Minister. Yeah, I did hear what he said. It wasn't a nice message, I'll tell you that. Like I said, yeah, this world's going into a dark place. I've talked about this several times, and it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying, that we're at this point where it's just kind of more prevalent, and you know, like I said, I've gone into all those videos before. It's just a nasty, ugly, dark side, even to talk about it. I thought it would be easy for me to discuss it, but it's not that easy anymore because people don't really know how to handle these type of discussions because it really gets far-based political. And like I said, I didn't vote. My vote went for Rand Paul, but my guy wasn't in, so it is what it is. As far as the 2028 election is concerned, I got to look at the names on the ballots. But if I see any baby boomers on there, I'm not voting for them. It is what it is. I'm not doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that. So you know, I'm ready to see like something new for the 2028 election, hopefully. But we'll see. The two-party system. I'll be honest with you. You know, I even question the two-party system. I think we should probably have at least a third party. I know we have like a Green Party, and you know, some people say that they're a Federalist Party, and you know, they're trying to bring that back. And I don't know, man. I would like to see at least three parties, three representatives. I think that would be cool to have a variety rather than just two people on there. Um, you know, on the ballot. I would like to see more names on the ballot. That way we can have a variety of somebody to vote for rather than just narrow down to two people. Um, you know, I think that you know, a two-party system is not, it's not feasible. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be more feasible to have maybe like four or five names on the ballot and have sort of a chance from there, you know? Yeah, I'm just like I said, I voted for Rand Paul. That was my vote. So, yeah. If I could vote for anyone other than Rand Paul, maybe Jill Stein, maybe. Not too many names after that. No, we'll just have to wait and see what happens after these 4 years are up. Uh, I'm, you know, not even thinking about this anymore. I think that, you know, I'm just concerned about the possibility of a World War III, and that's I think, you know, a lot of people are kind of it's in the back of your mind, but you don't really think about it too much. But I think about it every day, and that's something that definitely, concerns me, going into the middle of the summer and stuff like that. Is the dollar going to continue to lose value? How do we attack the deficit? All these questions are still looming in my mind. But at the end of the day, the more that I worry about it, the more it kind of affects me. And so that's why I would rather just, maybe just focus on my life and just try to improve my life and then just go from there. If that makes any sense. And so I've just kind of been focusing on that. So, that's why I took a sort of a hiatus from YouTube. Just 2 weeks. It wasn't like it was too long. But it's just I need to I'm gonna start trying to figure out how to drive my channel going forward in a positive way. I'm not saying the little drama videos aren't good here and there, but I got to figure out how to apply it, how I'm gonna do this. It's a strategy I'm definitely gonna have to start thinking over the next course of the couple of months and seeing how I want to do this. I want to do more collabs with other YouTubers like I used to do back in the day, and we would do collabs, stuff like that. Maybe get something going a little bit on that. We could do collab in sports. We can do collabs on movies. We can do collabs on a little bit of drama here and there, and maybe I like astronomy, so like I said, I wouldn't mind getting on some of these YouTubers I see that talk about space and finding aliens and other planets and stars. That's my cup of tea too. So that's something maybe I might want to be interested in. So these are like new interest points that I want to kind of do, some ideas that I'm having. But right now, I just want to get something structured and ride in it and go from there. Plan it. Go from there. Jesse Ventura. Oh, I'm thinking of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That was on the other day, right? You guys ever seen Pet Detective? That was a classic. Oh, absolutely. Dude, I was jamming Slipknot earlier, and YouTube immediately took that video down. I'm like, oh my god. But I played country music and they didn't care. But when I play Slipknot, they're like, nope, we can't have that on YouTube. So I'm like, come on, man. How you gonna take my Slipknot video down, man? I was jamming. I was in the middle of jamming. We were on the way back from Galveston, man. I was jamming, having a good time. Hey, man, have y'all seen the prices of eggs go up? Dude, I went to Walmart and the eggs there for a 5 dozen eggs. I'm talking about 60 eggs. This is the most eggs you can get in a package. I mean, if you can get more, someone tell me, but I think 5 dozen eggs is the most you can get, which is a dozen eggs is 12 for those you don't know. So 60 eggs, 30 goddamn dollars at Walmart. Unbelievable. A dozen eggs is damn near $5, $5, $6 for 12 eggs. I have never ever in my life seen eggs go that high. Like, this is insane. I couldn't believe it. I thought we were living in the Twilight Zone. I said, wow. And the sad thing about it is, if you don't buy the eggs, then yeah, that's cool. You don't need it, right? Because you can find other source of protein. But at the same time, they use eggs to make in other things as batter for like cakes and stuff like that, pastries. Um, so what sucks is all these restaurants and all these other places got to buy eggs, and they have to buy them at that price. What does that mean? That means they're gonna have to charge you more for that plate that has eggs on it. Or if you want eggs as an extra side dish, then you probably got to pay like $3, $4 for just a small side of eggs. Yeah, scary thinking about it. About the food cost prices going up. That's why, like, I say that I want to stock up on water, rice, beans, at least for a year's supply. That way, if the dollar does collapse, I can at least have something to protect me, for a year, or something. That way, in case this thing does crash, because it kind of feels like it is to a degree. So that's why, that's why like I made that video, and then apparently it pissed some people off, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Well, then I'll just delete, put the video, delete it. It's no biggie. And then I just, I sat back and I thought to myself, what is the point of even making videos if I can't say anything, like anything at all? So like if you can't say anything at all, like what is the point? So it's just like, let me go ahead and just sit and think about this for a second. And then 17 days go by and I'm here today. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to start pushing towards different directions, heading to, it's fortunately, because there's still topics I would like to talk about. But I'm going to stay away less from the topics that are going to, start raising red flags, and just, I want to go ahead and get away from that element and just start getting towards more of a better conversational, to where, I can walk that fine line. Unfortunately, like I said, freedom of speech isn't really free. It's just an illusion, essentially. Like the illusion of being rich off of making 8 to 10,000 a month is an illusion of being rich, because, by the time you got to pay higher taxes, higher this, higher that, you're back down to zero again. But you have an illusion you're rich because you see that kind of money in your account coming in every month. And, like, again, it's, so with that being said, it's just an illusion. Freedom of speech is an illusion. Our the value of the dollar is an illusion. It's just a transfer of energy. That's all a dollar basically is. It's just the transfer of energy. That basically just is. Same thing with everything else. Taxes, everything. It's just, you have an illusion of freedom. So I just said whatever. It is what it is. It was rooted in hate and division. Maybe. The earth is not flat. I never said it was. But some people believe the earth is flat. Well, do you think we're alone in the universe? Nah. I don't believe that. Do I think there's other humans? Possibly, but they may not look like us. I think that. Like, you ever seen the movie Coneheads? I think that Coneheads is would be like, maybe like similar to how we look like on another galaxy, maybe. And of course, we would probably say, they look weird, this and that. And then they would probably look at us and think the same about us. You know what I mean? So it kind of goes tit for tat. Does that make sense? So if I was like Conehead, with Dan Aykroyd, y'all seen that movie? Good movie, by the way. They would probably look at us and think we were weird, and then vice versa. It's the same thing. Good luck to the Mavs or whatever other teams you support. Thanks. Yes, I saw Coneheads in theaters. Oh, came out in 93? Yeah, Coneheads is a fucking classic, bro. Hey, do y'all remember Bernie Mac when the Bad Santa midget roast? Like, dude, bro, that was probably the best fucking roast I've ever seen in my life, bro. Like, that was a fucking, like, that movie had me fucking laughing. He said, in case you haven't noticed, I'm a motherfucking dwarf. I said, damn. And like, Bernie was like, you got a lot of lip on you, midget. I said, damn, man. They were sitting there roasting each other, bro. That Bad Santa was a classic movie, bro. I was watching that earlier, man. That movie just had me just laughing, bro. Billy Bob Thornton was a roaring alcoholic, man, and he was a Santa Claus. So I can understand if like people threw snowballs at him. You know what I mean? See, that's why I don't like talking politics, because you see the conversations taking place. Like, no offense, Crispy, but like that's why, like, even when I barely touch base, it starts that avalanche. That's why I don't know if I'm ever going to get in politics talks anytime soon. Like I said, I told you my vote. That's who I voted for. I didn't vote for anybody in office this time. I voted for somebody who wasn't on the ballot, and I just left it at that. And that's it. That's what I did. Oh, yeah, Eagles own the Chiefs' ass. Absolutely. Do I believe in raising the minimum wage? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even think it's going to matter. I think people are not looking at the bigger picture. The money, the dollar essentially is nothing. The dollar is just a piece of paper that has a 1 on it or a 5 on it, 100 or 20 or whatever, 50. And essentially the dollar's just been losing value in time because of everything's going up. So essentially, if that happens, then essentially the dollar is just worthless. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a transfer. It's just a transfer of energy. That's how I look at it. Now, the thing is that in my opinion, if you look at our tax code, I think our tax code has a lot to do with why the dollar has no meaning. And when you print up money, that also doesn't help. And the fact that you have to question how our taxes are being used. And if our taxes are being used or misused and some sort of corruption scheme or whatever, and a lot of the money becomes missing or it ends up in pockets of people that wasn't supposed to be the case, then you have to start questioning the tax code. And that's why I'm saying that the tax code to me logically doesn't make any sense, especially if your dollar is being taxed over and over and over again. So if your dollar is taxed, even someone who was trying to argue with me the other day was saying, well, your dollar's only taxed 2 to 3 times, but if you're in California, it's taxed 4. I'm like, okay, but that's still 20 to 40% taxes, and then your dollar is continuously being taxed over and over. When you go back to the grocery store to have to shop again, your dollar's being taxed. It never stops. And then if they raise those taxes, your property taxes go up, the sales tax goes up, your income taxes tend to go up. There's no cap. Well, then who's to say? Well, then how do we define what the tax code is? Because you're constantly raising the taxes. So it's kind of argument to say that even if your dollar is taxed at 2 to 3 times through your state income tax or your income tax, your state tax, then how can you say that we're not being taxed over and over if they continue to raise those taxes? And not to mention your property tax that's raised, not to mention that you're continuously being taxed throughout everything you buy, gift tax, death tax, all these taxes. Well, let's just go ahead and take these taxes off the board. Let's go ahead and get rid of the property tax. Let's go ahead and get rid of the state income tax. And let's go ahead and introduce a flat tax. We can either say, okay, everybody pays 8% tax. Everyone pays. Or we set a cap limit as to all the taxes going down to just 8%. And saying you just pay a one-time 8% fee. Or 8% of your income. Or whatever. And to me, that sounds more legit than just continuously throwing taxes in my face and not justifying where it's being used at. And then I come to find out that you're misusing those taxes. Then I start to question, are you a business partner? Because now I look at the government as a business partner. You're a business partner now. I don't look at you as somebody who's providing me services. You are a business partner that's essentially taking a cut from me. That's how I look at it now. So if that essentially is the case, then if I have no power or no say where my taxes go, and I have nobody to even foresee where my taxes are going, then why should I have to pay? Makes no sense. So that's what I'm saying. The tax code is screwed up here in this country. It's screwed up. We got to fix it. Which is why I wanted Rand Paul to win. He wanted to introduce a tax code that was fair across the board. He wanted to eliminate property taxes, which I think everybody would have loved. Yeah, not have to pay a property tax. It makes more sense to do it that way. So it's just, he wanted the audit the IRS. That's another reason why I wanted to vote for him. So I think that in essence, it would have helped us all. I think he was the best candidate to address the issues I felt were important, taxes, and go from there. Like I said, you don't always get what you want. Yeah. I live in Southern California. I've been to California. Beautiful place. Like I said, man, I don't mind. I don't mind going a little bit into it. Politics, I'm just not going to go deep into it. I'm just going to keep it, kind of along the fine line I'm at right now. And going from there. As far as the rest of the talks, I'm not, I don't mind talking about the tax code. I don't mind talking about auditing the IRS. I don't mind talking about my frustrations in the tax code. That was my main concern going into the election, is how are we going to address the tax code? The overtime tax. Another one that, if you work over 10 hours of overtime, they tax you at 40%. 40% of overtime, your pay. So essentially you're working for less than minimum wage. What is the purpose? What is the point of working overtime if you're taxing me at 40% of my taxes after 10 hours of overtime? So it almost defeats the purpose of working overtime. So why am I being taxed at 40% of overtime after 10 hours? Does it make any sense? So that's what I said. We have to, address the tax code and why it's set up the way it is. And if they say, well, we need us to do X, Y, Z. Well, how come it's not fixing X, Y, Z? And I'm still not seeing X, Y, Z being addressed with our taxes. Where's our taxes going? So you have to start questioning where the taxes are going, right? So that's my issue going into the election, is taxes. And the two tax code that I think Rand Paul had was fair. The flat tax eliminating the income tax, eliminating property taxes, and getting rid of the state taxes, and just essentially imposing just a flat tax across the board at a certain rate. I think that would have been a more feasible way to save the dollar, as opposed to increasing taxes. And again, it's just, they say, well, billionaires don't pay taxes. I'm like, and corporations, I'm like, yeah, you're right, they don't. And I don't really care. And a lot of people say, well, why is that? I'm like, because if taxation is theft, then why are we paying? If it's extortion, whatever you want to call it. If my taxes are misused, that's theft. Basically, you're stealing. So if that is the case, then why am I paying taxes? Why? If my taxes are being misused, that's theft. I think at the end of the day, you have to look at it like, when we're electing officials, they work for us. We don't work for them. And somewhere along the line, we've lost that. Where they think we work for them. No, you work for us. And somewhere along the line, that understanding of that is just completely lost. Now they're entitled, and they think they deserve to be endless, which is term limits. We need term limits. We don't have term limits. Why is that not on the ballot? Why is that not an option for us to vote for term limits across all legislative branches, including Congress? Why don't we have that option? Why are they not giving us that option on the ballot to vote for that? Remember, you work for us. It's not the other way around. And that's, I think, is the misconception of me voting, is if I'm voting, why can't I vote for the things that I want? Even if I don't win. Why is the option on the ballot not there to vote for term limits, to vote for the decrease in the taxes? Why? So then I have to start questioning the voting process now. Am I voting for a candidate that I believe is going to best represent what I feel the way that the country should be run? And the answer is no. So if there's no term limits, and there's nothing that we have the option to vote on, then what's the purpose of voting? It makes no sense. It almost defies the whole logic of voting in the first place. Well, if you vote for this guy, you have to just hope that he does what you want. So that's what we live off, is hope. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Like I said, it's a very touchy subject. I'm not getting into immigration, so we're going to cross that out. I'm not even going to touch that subject. But as far as the taxes, I'll talk about that, because I think that's a topic everybody likes to talk about, is taxes. As far as taxes are concerned, I think that, people say, well, the dollar's only taxed two times over, Rose. I'm like, but when they raise taxes here, it feels like it's more. And then you're taxed at everything you do. So if I go to the grocery store and I continuously go and you're continuously taxing me, you're taxing me over and over and over for the same thing. You don't think that. So essentially 60 to 80% of your income goes towards taxes. And then to find out that it's being misused, that you're going to be unhappy. You're going to say, wait a minute. So I'm working very hard, I might add. You're taking my taxes, and then you're misusing those taxes. Then you feel like a part of your life is working for free for a business partner that's misusing your money. It's like working for a business partner that's embezzling your money. So that's how I feel on that, on the taxes. I feel like it's extortion and theft. But anyways, see how we slip on the videos? Back to sports. I will go ahead and say that the Luka trade, the Anthony Davis trade, in my opinion, I think it was to boost ratings for the NBA, for them lacking ratings at 53% less viewers. I think that they were determined to try to get the ratings to go up, and they needed a boost. And I want to say it's rigged? No. I think they both agreed on the deal, but at the same time, I think it's the NBA just needed viewership and a reason for people to watch, because the ratings were just that bad. And so they just did it out of a knee-jerk reaction to see where it goes. And I think to a degree, Luka being in LA will be pretty cool. And Davis being with the Mavericks will kind of coincide, with Kyrie now running the team. And I kind of like that duo. You're going to have Kyrie, Clay, AD, the same team. I like it. Yeah. Who do I think is winning the NBA Finals? Marvin said. I think Boston's coming out of the East. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but I think they got the best depth out of all the current rosters in the East. I think the Knicks might give them some problems, the Bucks, but I think it's gonna be Cleveland and Boston in the Final Four. I think Boston wins in 6. And then for the West, that's going to be tough. It's like a sort of a mix-up of a lot of good teams, the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Suns, Warriors trying to get in there. You got Dallas, Clippers, Memphis, Thunder, Rockets. I mean, you got a lot of good teams there. To me, I would say the Thunder and the Memphis Grizzlies probably seem like they're number 1 and 2. But if Dallas can get AD back, and you got AD, Kyrie, and Clay, as this AC, they might actually beat the Thunder in 6. I think the Lakers can beat the Nuggets if they face in the playoffs this time. I think that addition of Luka shooting on the outside is going to help with LeBron. LeBron can drive the ball in the paint. I think Luka can shoot them outside shots and hit them. And, the Lakers got a young core of guys that can shoot. They got a damn good roster of young guys. And so, like I said, I think that I think the Clippers actually could make some noise and get to the second round. But ultimately, I think Dallas and LA Lakers will meet in the second round. That'll be a cool matchup. I think the Lakers possibly may come out of the West. As crazy as that sounds, I think they could. To me, it seemed like the Lakers are playing their best basketball since the 2020 season. It seems like to me LeBron really desperately wants a fifth ring. You could be seeing a Celtics-Lakers matchup. Just FYI. And they make big moves this summer. Jokic is enough. I know. You're right. Absolutely. No, what do you think of the Sixers? I hate to say it, but I think that Paul George is going to get out of town. I think Embiid's probably going to request a trade. I can see the Sixers just blowing it up next year. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the Joel Embiid, I think that it's just a point in time where I just think it's just time to move on. You can still get maybe some junk pile like role players, and you could get some, but I would just say, you know what? Give me a bunch of draft picks and I'll be all right with that. Like, if you want to give me one or two like young role guys, it's fine, maybe one or two. But go ahead and give me a shitload of first rounds so I can rebuild. As the Rockets did when they got rid of Harden. Smart move. So if I'm the Lakers, Sixers, I probably would go, I think Embiid can still get you at least maybe 3 future first round draft picks and maybe like 2 young guys. You can get a 5-for-1 deal on him. Absolutely. Because you put Joel Embiid in a situation where he's got a big 3, man, that's going to be a monster threat right there. I could possibly see maybe a team gambling on that and saying, you know what, we'll give you 3 first-round picks. We'll give you 2 guys. We'll give you that. So, you're gonna take the best deal. On the Sixers, I'm shopping around it. Well, PG's a good player. I just think that, Paul George is just what do they call it, a journeyman at this point of his career. I don't see him long-term invested with the Sixers. I don't see it. And honestly, I think Joel Embiid's going to request a trade next year. I sense the storm coming, but I think if you're Philadelphia, you have to do that. So you have to say, you know what? Let's just tear it down. Let's trade both Paul George and Joel Embiid and stock up on future first-round picks. The Rockets did that with James Harden, and look where it got us now. So I would say let's do that with our future first-round draft picks with the Sixers. Retrust the process again, start all over, and get first-round picks because it makes no sense to keep Joel Embiid, in a situation where he's still got some talent, would be a wonderful third piece to another team that give him a big 3 option, and we'll load up on first rounds, and I'm pretty sure there will be a team that'll bet on that. Say, we're looking for first-round, future-round draft picks. If that ain't in the package, don't bother calling. Click. There's going to be some teams calling that are desperate for another guy to add to the addition of a possible championship run. So there'll be some teams that are going to try to call them for those picks, and they may even throw in some players, young guys in there, and say, we'll take this, we'll take those first-round picks. Thank you, and take those future first-round draft picks. Shit, if somebody said, I'll give you 3 future first-round draft picks and 2 second rounds, I'll trade on Embiid for that. Hell yeah. And I don't get no pieces, but I get future-round picks, I'll take them. Because you got to think long-term. And that's what the Rockets did. We had future-round draft picks from 2022 to 2027. Loaded up extra first-round picks. So we're picking guys as we're going throughout. And we had bad seasons for, I think, the last 4 years. And this year, we just, boom. We're going to have our first winning season since James Harden left. So, went 500 last year. We were, I think, 2 games out of the tournament. And then this year, we're number 5 in the West. Even if we don't win the first round, our future round draft picks are paying out. Delaware is honestly really nice. I'd like to move there at some point. Oh shit, that ain't bad. Spurs not going to make noise in the playoff. Oh yeah, I think honestly, I think that maybe next year, maybe next year. I think Boston's going to come out of the East. I think the West is probably going to be the Lakers. I think at this point in LeBron's career, he wants to push for a championship run. I think this year he's really kind of more healthy, more focused. He's been playing most of the games. The trade for Luka kind of might incentivize that. I'm not saying he will win, but he has a nice look. And if LeBron can dominate and give you 30 a game, a playoff game, and he really shows out, and then you got Luka to add to that with the young pieces they got, Lakers probably could come out of the West. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Interested in signing Kevin Durant this summer. Oh, shit. If he opts out of his contract, I'll be honest with you. I think that if you're Dallas, Dallas got a nice package 3 with some core players. Dallas to me is the new next is the new Lakers, meaning that's going to be the new next go-to destination. People like playing for Mark Cuban. People like playing in that Dallas, DFW climate that's growing. Dallas is one of those hidden cities in the United States that's like a very good place for tourism. They got a lot of live bands, live music, a lot of politicians and players go there to party in the DFW Arlington area. And there's just a lot to do. Dallas is a growing area. So I think that if you can sell a big 3 and you bring a guy like KD, you could probably bring Kevin Durant in Dallas. And that would probably oh my God, dude, that would be insane. If they decide or if they pick up a 4th guy in the offseason, bro, that is sick. Is it possible you can see a LeBron James reunion with Kyrie, Clay, and AD? That's nasty. At that point, I'd just be like, Dallas is going to win, bro. Like I said, it just depends on what LeBron's going to do this year. Is this just all-in year to win for the Lakers? He's certainly playing like it. Mavericks next to the Knicks right now. Both will not go to the finals. Yeah? Zach said how to describe it. It's central a lot of places. Philly, PA, and J. That's what's up. Like I said, man, I gave up energy drinks. I just been chilling lately, man. Just trying to redefine myself, where I want to go with my channel in the future. Just going from there. Just going out on my off days, getting out of the house for a little bit, working a lot of hours. I'm going to have my car paid off, so I'm really happy about that. I'm supposed to have my car paid off in 2027, and I'm going to have it paid off in May. So I'm really, I'm going to have a 6-year car. It's going to be paid off in 4. So I've been really attacking that and just, helping out around the house and paying bills and shit and just doing that and then going out every once in a while when I can. I go to Galveston, like I said today. Had a blast, man. And, it's been doing that, man. So like I said, I've just been, it's been living kind of low, a low profile. Got to go to New England and South. Stephen King's movies you recommend? Oh, I would watch Marvin, since you're now in the Stephen King talk. I would watch probably Storm of the Century, but be prepared for 4 hours of Stephen King. Storm of the Century, by the way. Be prepared, okay? I would probably do Storm of the Century. Everybody's seen it. That's the Night Flares is good. Night Flares is another good one if you're into vampires, sort of like that. The Golden Years is another good one. Then there's Rose Red. That's Wes Craven's, I think. Rose Red is that's a Wes Craven's movie. I think so. Is Rose Red or Wes Craven's or Stephen King? But yeah, there's a bunch of good movies, but his movies are like 4 hours long, so be prepared to watch. If you're watching um Stephen King, be prepared 4 or 5 hours of your time. There's a stand. The stand's 8 hours, 8 9 hour. That's 2 parts. Have fun with that. What are my plans for Valentine's Day? Jack and shit, and Jack left town. I gotta work. So I'm working. What is tomorrow? Is tomorrow Valentine's Day? Yeah, it is. I work tomorrow. I work at 12 tomorrow, 6 to 6. So unfortunately, I'll be at work. And then I work a 12 hour Saturday and Sunday. Monday, I work at 8. Tuesday, I work at 8. I work at 12 on Tuesday. On the 18th. 19th, I work just 4 hours. And on the 20th, on Thursday, I work just 4. And then Friday, I work at 12. So I got 64 hours next week on my schedule. 64. That's why I work nothing but 12s, bro. Oh, Eagles parade is tomorrow. You're lucky. How does it feel, KW, to win a Super Bowl again? Is it a surreal feel? You feel like it's not? It's like, is it just setting in? I mean, what's the feeling like there? I guess you'll know when the parade happens. You'll probably have more of a definitive answer. Coming from a guy who has no rings, so I don't have any championships, so I don't know what it's like to win a Super Bowl. How old is your franchise? 23 years. 24 next year will be our franchise age. Yeah. Oh yeah, like I said, I even my music has changed. I listen to a lot of country rock. So I listen to like Morgan Wallen, Whiskey Myers, 38 Special. So I listen to a lot of new types of music now. I listen to music that more soothes the soul. That makes sense. Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I am. Taylor Swift's I. She got booed, and I heard she laughed it off or something like that. But I think she was like, I put it like this: they talk a lot of shit, and so I look at it like this: if you're gonna do all that, then you better be prepared when they talk shit back. That's a part of the game. So, when Kelsey's like, "Oh, I felt bad for her because they booed her," I'm like, dude, y'all were talking shit the whole 3 years. So, to be fair, you got to take that same energy back. It's just like when people talk about the refs cheating. I said if the refs cheat, that's fine. But be prepared when it happens to you. You better have the same energy. That's it. That's how I look at it. So for the Chiefs fans, I'm not trying to be mean, but I have no sympathy for y'all only because when you guys robbed us, and I had people telling me that the roughing the passer call on Patrick Mahomes when he slid underneath both of the Texans defenders was a justifiable call, even though he wasn't touched. And I had people telling me, would you have rather had Mahomes get touched so that it would legitify your argument? I said, well, the whole point of roughing the passer was that you made contact with the quarterback via the helmet, or you hit him when he was already throwing the ball off or in a defenseless position when bringing him to the ground. So they were telling me that even though he wasn't touched, it was justifiable that the roughing the passer was called. And I said, so then what is roughing the passer? Is it the illusion that he is hit? Is it just the look? Two of our defenders hit each other, not Patrick Mahomes. So how can you justify that call. Well, would you have rather it hit Mahomes? I'm like, well, that's the whole point to get the call, right? Was that we hit the man as he's going down. If we made contact and the call was made, then okay. But you're telling me that even if he wasn't hit, that the call was justifiably made because of the look. That's ridiculous. So I said, okay, so if that is the case, and then we need to rewrite how roughing the passer is called. It's the illusion of being hit. Because you said it yourself. If Patrick Mahomes is not touched, but he looks as if he's getting hit, then the roughing the passer should be called. Okay, well then let's just rewrite how the roughing the passer should be called. Then the illusion of getting hit, then make sure that applies to all the quarterbacks in the league. Every one of them. And not just Patrick Mahomes. Which makes me believe now, you now even make my argument more legit, that referees are favoring him when throwing that flag. You're actually making my argument stronger. You're supposed to be actually arguing against me and telling me why the calls that Patrick Mahomes are getting is justifiable. I simply made a simple comment and said, well, the Texans defenders that hit each other was not a roughing the passer by definition. They said, well, would you rather if it hit Mahomes and would you rather have him get hurt, Steve, to make sure the call was made? Well, then what's the fucking point of having roughing the passer then? What's the fucking point? What a dumbass thing to say. You know, that is worse than the Patriots fans that try to defend all the cheating allegations against them. Deflategate, Spygate, and them saying, well, you know, it doesn't say in the rules that, you know, you do that. And to deflate the balls, you know, he could have thrown the ball a lot faster. It's like, it sounds dumber than what they're saying, even though the things that the Patriots fans say is dumb as hell when it comes to their cheating allegations, because they know that the NFL was helping them, which I agree. But when the Chiefs fans were saying about the roughing the passer call and trying to tell me that even though Patrick Mahomes was not touched, the call still should have went because would you rather had hit him and he gets hurt to justify your argument, Rose? Well, what's the fucking point of having a roughing the passer call? Then let's just not have a roughing the passer. Or let's just say the minute the quarterback gets touched, boom, the flag goes down. And if that is the case, then make sure it applies across the board. To Stroud, to all the other quarterbacks in the league. The same rule applies all across the board. But no, it only applies to Patrick Mahomes. It seems like the rules are different for him than versus the other quarterbacks, it seems like to me. And the only other quarterback I could think that got away with a little bit more was Tom Brady. That's the only other quarterback I could think of that got away with those calls was Tom Brady and Mahomes. And then Patriots fans will say, see, we told you they were cheating. And I'm like, you kind of had no room to talk. Well, you know, the NFL was against us and they suspended Brady for 4 games. I'm like, that doesn't negate all the cheating allegations. The taped Super Bowl practice with the Rams, the deflate gate, lowering the temperature inside of the locker rooms for visiting teams. There's no way you can argue that, dude. Your best bet is to do like Tyson, your King is Here, did, where he actually made a video admitting that the Patriots were cheating, and he actually said, and I'll give him credit for it, whatever it takes to win, I'm down for it. At least I'm admitting we're cheating. And I at least gave him credit for that. I said, okay, I'll at least give you credit you acknowledged it. The Chiefs fans don't want to acknowledge that Patrick Mahomes is getting favorable calls. They don't want to acknowledge that part. I didn't say that he's not a good player. I never said that. I didn't say the Chiefs aren't a good team. I just said you're getting favorable calls by the refs. And they'll just come up with all types of weird shit. Oh, well, what about when the Astros cheated in 2017? I'm like, and they did. I admitted they did. I'm not even a baseball fan, but the Astros did cheat. People have asked me, what do you think about the Astros 2017, the banging trash cans and the sign stealing? I said their World Series should have been stripped. And it should have been vacant like college football does with death penalty. And then Red Sox fans said, no, your title's legit. And I said, you know why you're saying that? Because the person that set all that up, the GM, went to your city and won your ring. So if they took ours away, they're going to take yours away. So that's why Red Sox fans came to our defense. It wasn't because they were defending us. It's because they knew that our GM went over there and then won a World Series with them the following year, which would have legitimized the integrity of their championship. It would have put an asterisk on them. So that's the only reason why they came to our defense. It wasn't because they were defending our championship. It's because they didn't want to lose theirs. And I've already said, take the World Series away. Strip the goddamn title in 2017. I don't give a shit. I don't watch baseball anyway. But the Astros fucking cheated. That's why I said the 2017 World Series doesn't count. And neither does the 2018 World Series for the Red Sox. So, for FYI, for your information. So, that's why Red Sox fans are so concerned about this, because they're like, well, damn, that means if they fire him and they get rid of that ring and he came over here, that's probably going to jeopardize ours. I'm like, well, yeah, it is. It's going to tarnish. It's going to put an asterisk on yours. Because then he followed right to your franchise next. So, you're probably going to get yours taken away, too. And I'm all for it. I have no problem with them vacating titles. But then if they do that, it's going to ruin the integrity of the sport. So they'll just try to brush it under the rug and say, well, we'll suspend this guy, we'll suspend this guy. To me, I don't think that's enough. You got to strip the World Series and put it in the books. Or put an asterisk by it with the help of this and that. I don't have no problem with it. I'm not even a baseball fan. So I was telling Chiefs fans this. Yes, the World Series was rigged. Just like the one last year with the Yankees and the Dodgers. That was rigged. It was a rigged World Series because baseball was losing ratings and they needed two legitimate big market teams to make it. The Yankees should have lost in the divisional round against the Royals. And the umpires made bad calls in that Royals game. And the Royals should have won game 1 and game 2 in New York. And should have won in 3 games to 1 against the Yankees in the divisional round. And if you watch that series, the Yankees won. And I even gave Chiefs credit for that. I said they screwed your Royals. And the umpires rigged it for the Yankees to win because they want Yankees and Dodgers to meet in the World Series. Then they wanted that from the start. Because why? Baseball's losing ratings. They want big market teams in. And so I knew it. So I gave Chiefs fans credit for that. I said your Royals actually should have went to the American League Championship Series to face probably Detroit. And so, yeah, I said MLB rigged it to where the Yankees and Dodgers would meet. What a coincidence. So I saw that coming a mile away. I just didn't think the NFL was going to throw the Eagles a bone. I thought, if anything, they were going to help the Chiefs win. But obviously it didn't happen. I'm not angry at the Chiefs. Because, hell, if it was my team and they were cheating for me, I would be a little excited. I would say, hey, it's our turn. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge that, hey, your guy was getting favorable calls. Y'all played a really bad game in the Super Bowl. It just is what it is. I don't think the game was rigged at all. I think, if anything, the Eagles were just so dominant on defense. That was the first time I saw Mahomes running for his life and had no options to throw the ball. And there were times where the pocket was collapsing and he had a bunch of forced fumbles, throwing interceptions. God knows how many sacks he took. I mean, that was just an all-around defensive just squash match. Like, the Eagles just dominated on fucking defense the way they did. It wasn't even close. Even though they did put up points on offense, but at the same time, they dominated on that game was an all defensive game. So, like I said, I know defense wins championships, yeah, but usually the games are a lot closer in the Super Bowl. This one was just a squash match. And proposing of the three-peat, yeah, it's a huge marketing for viewership, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, and that's why I was telling Chiefs fans who were whining about me saying that the sport was rigged and that they were favoring the Chiefs. I said, hey, your Royals got robbed in the divisional series against the Yankees. They rigged that, right? For the Yankees to win, right? Did you watch game 1 and 2 where y'all blow both of the 8th games and the umpires were making bogus calls on the strike and the balls? You not see that? I said you can clearly see they were helping the Yankees when they didn't want the Yankees to go down 2-0 going back to Kansas City. And you saw that. The Kansas City took one of those games, and they should have taken game one. And the Kansas City Royals would have beaten the Yankees, in my opinion. They would have swept them. And I told Chiefs fans, to be fair, your Royals got just FY, your Royals got robbed. But I'm just saying, I can admit that. You know, they didn't give the Eagles a bone. The Eagles defense just straight up dominated. I mean, they just dominated defensively. I don't think the NFL was intending on rigging the Super Bowl. I think if anything, they wanted the game to be probably called right because they didn't want that Super Bowl controversy of, the Chiefs were cheating, the referees are cheating. So I think Goodell told them not to call as many favorable calls for Mahomes and let the game play out. And I think this is the first time. I think this is the first time that the Chiefs just got dominated. They dominated the Chiefs just straight up defensively, just straight up squashed them. Absolutely. Who do you think who do I think what's drafting? The Tennessee Titans, or who do you think they're going to draft? That Cameron Ward guy, or you think they're going to go after Shadell Sanders, or whatever his name is? I mean, if you want the hype and Dion, you go with his son. Just to bring that hype. But if you probably think you're going to go with winning, you'll probably go with Ward. I mean, either way, you're going to get a good quarterback there. But you'll probably go with Ward, probably most likely. I think the Giants are going to get Sanders. Oh, yeah. Like I said, the Eagles straight dominated it. Marvin said, I don't care what anybody says, there's no way you win 3 championships in a row without the refs' help. You mean for football? Yeah, possibly. If the Chiefs would have won 5 in a row, there's just no way. You would have known that shit was rigged. There's no way in football, in a physical sport like that, you win 5 years in a row with Super Bowls. No way. You would have known that shit's all about ratings now. So, the NFL needs a face of the league. Patrick Mahomes is that guy. Maybe with the Eagles winning, you can maybe bring up the talks of someone else sharing the light and maybe giving variety to the league. I think next year is going to be very interesting. I think if you're Eagles, I think you would probably be playing for a repeat. I think so because the NFC East has never had a repeat champion or even a repeat division winner. I don't think so. And so I think if you're Eagles, you're playing to prove to your team, that it's not a fluke, that we could build a dynasty here in Philly. And so the Eagles are going to come out strong next year. And they're still probably going to be the best team in the NFC East. I know Dallas wants to, maybe try to figure out what they're going to do with building around the receiving core. Is CeeDee Lamb going to want out? Are they going to have a legitimate running back? They should have picked up Derrick Henry. That was pointless. He wanted to play in Dallas. Jerry Jones said no. I think that was stupid. I would have signed Derrick Henry in a heartbeat, even if it would have put me over the cap. Well, even if I would have had adjusted his pay or whatever on the back end, I would have tried to bring Derrick Henry in because he was a big addition to the Ravens. Big addition to the Ravens. You saw that on the field. Oh, yeah. The Eagles look definitely good. Oh, yeah. If they stay healthy, they maybe repeat. Oh, absolutely. So next year is going to be very interesting. Another offseason, times and dates come out May. So I'll probably do a reaction video to that. Is there anybody I want to play on week 1? It don't matter. Whoever's on schedule. I'll play who's ever on the schedule. Jerry Jones is a dumbass? Maybe. Like I said, if the Eagles can stay healthy, man, I like that tush push they do. That shit is pretty cool. Usually when you go for the quarterback sneak, it's not easy. Well, it's 50-50 you're going to make the first down. But the Eagles invented a way that other teams are not really successful in. And they figured out a way to like push. I don't know how they do it, man. They just, the way they line up and how they push behind, and he gets like a yard and a half every time, it seems like. And every time the defense lines up to try to stop him, there's no stopping it. So if you know the Eagles are like on a 4th and inches, 4th and long one, they're going to go for that touch push every time. And it seems like teams haven't developed an ability to stop him, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that's going to be hard to say. You think so? Oh. Are we going to see Eagles and Chiefs next year? Oh, God, I hope not. Not again. Well, technically, it would be to break the tiebreaker. The Chiefs won the first, Philly won the second, and now you got a tiebreaker. Man, knock on wood, right? Delusional as fuck. Cowboys were nowhere close to the Eagles level. No. I think Dallas was stupid for not starting Trey Lance. I think you swap those first-round draft picks and you get Trey Lance and you don't even start him. And then you re-sign Dak to another 4 years. When Dak is obviously too slow and not as fast as he used to be, his arm mechanics suck. His footwork is terrible. And I think a guy like CeeDee Lamb is just too fast for Dak, given the fact that he's just too damn slow to get rid of the ball. I think if you would have went with Trey Lance, that would have, to me, been a better a position. A guy who's younger, faster, more agile, he's got quicker legs, and is on an up and coming. Would have made more sense to start Trey Lance and to bench Dak. Oh, would have never signed Dak. Are you kidding me? Will Chiefs have Kelsey next year? It's possible because he may want one more ring, just to say he gets 4. But I don't. Maybe to be in the limelight, maybe with Taylor Swift, maybe tell him, baby, play one more year. He'll probably may do it. Well, I can see maybe one more try at it. Yeah, I know. Marvin's the Cowboys are stupid for giving him those draft picks. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that they were stupid for re-signing Dak for that long-term extension. Absolutely. On his contract year, no. Absolutely not. They gave him it because they thought it was going to make him play better. I'm like, no, absolutely not. You're on contract year. No. He didn't deserve it. But I think the Cowboys were saying, oh, we're going to be behind him. We're going to, show we're loyal. Fuck that. What you would have showed loyal for was those draft picks that you got for Trey Lance. Keep Trey Lance, put him in a starting position, bench Dak Prescott, and let Dak start instead of letting Cooper Rush start at the end of the year. You should have let Trey Lance start and let him get an opportunity to get some games in. Instead, you're going to start Cooper Rush, which made no sense. That needs to get traded for picks or another experienced quarterback. I think Trey Lance should be put in that position and then go from there. Yeah, the guarantee money is insane. Yeah, they were stupid for giving Dak that money. Now, I think that's the dumbest move Jerry Jones made so far. It was giving Dak Prescott that extension. There's no way you justify that. And then you trade, 3 first-round picks for Trey, and you don't start Trey Lance? Come on, man, stop. How do you justify all that then? What's the fucking point of trading for Trey Lance, giving up the house, and you're not going to even utilize him at all, but you'll put in Cooper Rush? I mean, that makes no sense. Yeah, that guaranteed money is insane. Oh, absolutely. I thought they did give some first round picks for Lance. Or who was the one that traded for Lance? I thought they did give some first rounds. Either way, they should start Trey Lance. Oh, okay. That's where I messed up at. My bad. I messed up on that. But even if the Cowboys didn't trade first round picks for him, still. What do you think about college football next year? Oh, I love college football. You guys see that? I got Rice University down the street from me. I go walk to Rice University and go check a couple Rice Owl games. U of H is not that far from here. I can go check a U of H Cougars game out, but I'm a Longhorns fan. Trade for Micah Parsons. Oh. I mean, like I said, I think that if you're Dallas, you got Dak starting week 1. I mean, you have to now because you invested so much into him. But don't be afraid to bench his ass. You know, if the Cowboys start sucking and they're off to 1-3 or whatever, I would bench Dak. I'd put in Trey right away. I wouldn't even waste any time over it. I'm not gonna if I'm Jerry, I wouldn't blow another just wasteful season on that. On something that's just not working, I would just bench Dak, put in Trey right away. He's making a lot of money. He can sit on the bench. Very last minute. Yeah, well. Do you think it's Dak Prescott's final year to make a run? I thought last year was his last chance. And Jerry proved everybody wrong on that one in Jerry's world. So obviously, Jerry Jones has high hopes on him, I guess. That makes sense. It's the same thing for Matt Schaub when we had him for as long as we had. Now, Matt Schaub wasn't that bad. I just think he wasn't great. I think he was a little bit higher than slightly average. Maybe out of 1 out of 10, I can maybe give him a 6. You know? But the excuses we had were a little bit more legit because we were still a young franchise, didn't have a franchise quarterback, never really did. Matt Schaub was after Derek Carr, or David Carr, I'm sorry, David Carr. And we really just didn't have a shot. We were going, I thought Matt Schaub was okay. He won us 2 division titles. You know, he did win 2 playoff games against Bengals. I mean, he has something. Who he won for Micah. But I think Eagles are winning the Marvin said I think Eagles are sure for run to win the East next year. I'll give them 12-4 or 13-4. I say about around the same. I'd say about the same, 12-13 wins. You know, I think the Eagles are in the front runner to win the division game. I think the only team they have to look out for probably Detroit, Rams. I don't know if the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are gonna have that same success with Sam Darnold. That would be crazy if they did, but I don't see that happening. Oh, good night, all. Okay, KW, take care. And you have fun with your Eagles and let us know about your championship, man. I'd like to hear about the parade and all that. Well, I would ask you to take pictures, but I don't have your contact info, so never mind. Unless you post videos or something like that or a short clip on YouTube, you could probably do that. But have fun at the parade. We'll give you CeeDee Lamb. Oh, come on, man. I like CeeDee Lamb. Imagine if Trey Lance was throwing the ball to CeeDee Lamb, bro. I mean, think about it. Imagine that. Doesn't that have a nice twist? Trey Lance throwing CD Lamb the ball. Come on, man. I'm just saying, you know, if you're gonna, you know, compare apples and oranges, I would say go ahead and put in, Trey Lance and let him throw the ball to CD Lamb. Let's see where that goes. Saying. I didn't realize it was this late. God damn, you guys got me talking. You take care, KW, whoever you are. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say hi to Caitlin. She was in here earlier. I think she commented once and just kind of left. Or something like that. Went to bed, something like that. So what's up with the cowboy look? Rachel said it looks kind of cute on you. I don't know. Just want to try something new. I like the cowboy look, so I'm gonna go with I'm gonna buy a cowboy hat when I get a chance. Probably on my next check. Yeah, a nice little $200-$300 hat. This hat's $30, but I'm gonna get a nice one. Oh wait, nice cowboy hat. Yeah, I'm used to wearing fitted caps and stuff, so I'm gonna try something new. All right, Crispy Cruiser, you have a wonderful night. Yeah, when he caught all that cases. Yeah. And apparently he got injured again. Man, football gods are not liking Deshaun. Like I said, you know, it's innocent until proven guilty, but, you know. You know, like I said, I think with Deshaun, he just has a bad attitude. I think he just doesn't want to play football anymore. And I think he's just wasting his time. You know. That's just what I think. But good night to you, Crispy Cruiser. What, are you going back to the Hubcap Grill next week? Most likely. Oh, that's I always do. I'll be going next week. I'm going back to the Hubcap Grill. Absolutely. Let's see. Let me see if I can see all y'all's comments. Sometimes it takes forever to scroll through the damn thing. The Rockets are currently 5. We lost to Golden State tonight. So we're 34-21 through 55 games. Not too bad. We've been on a slide as of recently. We've lost, I think, 6 out of our last 7 games. Something like that. Crazy. But, yeah, I think the Rockets will still make the playoffs. This will be our first run at it with these young guys. I like Green. Seguin's good. Smith is back. We got a nice little, you know, good squad. You know, we got Steven Adams. That was a great pickup on the offseason. The Rockets got a good squad. Nice, heavy-hitting young team. We got Fred VanVleet from the Raptors bringing up at the point guard position. We got a nice little cold squad, man, you know. Well, like I said, it's going to take a while before, you know what I'm saying, they become championship contender. But I think this year, you know, making the playoffs would be great. You know, it proves that we're going in the right direction. Oh, absolutely. Or we could just develop our young guys and develop stars in them, you know. Like I said, it's going to take time. Like anything, Rome wasn't built in a day. It's going to take time for this to build, man. But our players are starting to become... I think Seguin is becoming a star to a degree. Nice footwork. Hakeem Olajuwon worked with him. So he's got good footwork. You can shoot the ball. You can drive it in. He's got a great hook shot. He plays good defense. And then you get Green to show out. You know, Fred VanVleet bringing up the point. He's got a little bit of veteranship, so he helps out a little bit. I like him. You know, like I said, I would like to pick up maybe some younger guys, a little bit more veteranship for next year. It would be nice. I don't think KD would want to come here because he wants to go to a team that already kind of has like stars that are built to win now. I think to me, he's probably going to want to go to Dallas. Or maybe even, I know he didn't want to go back to Golden State. He would have played with Curry, Dre, but I don't think that would have been the same. So that's probably why he didn't want to go there. But I think probably you could possibly see Durant going to Dallas. Maybe. Possibly. I could see that happening. Which is funny. Or maybe I could see Durant going to the Clippers. Playing with Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. Maybe a little three-way reunion there. Possibly. Clippers could be in his radar. Maybe the Knicks. Yeah, maybe Durant will go to the Knicks and play with Towns and Brunson. That's possible, yeah. Oh, man. And you got Clay. You got Clay, KD, Kyrie, and AD. That's nasty, bro. Nasty. And you can get Durant maybe on a 3-year deal. You got Clay on a 4-year deal. You get Kyrie on... Bruh. That would be nasty if the Mavericks can pull that shit off, bro. If the Mavericks actually pull that off, that would be insane. I would love to Young Buck 445, but it's going to be kind of hard, man, considering the job I got now. It's not going to be as easy as it used to be. You know, otherwise, I would love to. You know, it's just... It's hard conveying with people in a way, and maybe I need to work on my communication skills to where I can still make those kind of videos and be able to get people to have conversations without having to resort to canceling or that kind of ordeal. I just have to figure it out. Maybe it's the way that I express myself. Maybe I could do it more in a professional way. That can, I don't know, but we'll see. Oh, I wouldn't mind. The first time I think I've ever worn a cowboy hat. Thought I would never do that. Like, wow. It's like thought I would never wear a cowboy hat. I'm like, Rose wearing a cowboy hat? I'm like, yeah. Did you compliment on the cowboy hat yet? I did one. I had one woman told me I look cute with it on. I was like, thanks. I like your cowboy hat. I'm like, thanks. You look cute on. Appreciate it. You know. Other than that, not much. We were at the Hearsay, had a drink, and then we went to the, what was it called? Not the what was it called? I just went to the pub. What do they call that restaurant I went to? Trying to think of the name, damn it. It's not coming to my mind right now. I was just talking about it earlier. How did I not remember that name? Anyways, I went to go eat. What gaming system I recommend? I mean, most people go on Steam and play now. Or they do online gaming. But Nintendo Switch... Man, I like the Nintendo Switch where you could play all the old Nintendo games on there. N64, I still got that one. I haven't played that one in a while. And then I would say I played the PS4. I just haven't played a PS5. I played PS4, PS3, all the way to the first PS. But I haven't played the 5 yet. But I do. I played the PS4. So. I heard allegedly PlayStation 6 is coming out. I'm like, but y'all just had a 5 come out. Now you're coming out with 6 for real? I'm like, that's how you know they're just milking this shit now. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all literally just came out with a PS5. And now you want to do a PS6? Come on, man. Rachel said it's good seeing you back after you took 3 weeks off. I know. I really wasn't even going to make a video till May. But I just said, you know what? I'll go ahead and address the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl and question their second Lombardi. Why not? Oh, you're on the fence for a PS5? You know, I thought about getting a PS5, but I'm really probably going to consider getting a gaming system. Like, maybe getting one of those advanced gaming computers and maybe like putting like maybe 1,500 into a good gaming system. Maybe something like that. If I have reason to. I mean, I would like to, but it's just with my work schedule. I work nights now. So, like, what you see me on night right now is because of my off day. But I don't have, like, I work nights. So, unless if I switch my time, and I'll work maybe afternoons, like 2 to 10, instead of working 10 to 6. I could possibly start streaming at night again, but, you know, I don't know. It's something that I definitely would have to consider. You know, because right now I work nights, so I can only really do it on my off days. You know, unfortunately, which are currently Wednesdays, Thursdays, or my off days. So I can only do it then. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind. You know, do I miss going live on here? Absolutely. Absolutely. I do miss going live. Absolutely, I miss going live. It's just I work nights, so it's kind of harder for me now.
Look here, get him out of here. I go smooth things over with you, Pesca. Some food poison or something.
What do you mean, get him out of here?
Take him to the car.
In case you hadn't noticed, I'm a motherfucking dwarf. So unless you got a forklift handy, maybe you should lend a hand,
So I figure you on all kind of set aside special treatment because you're handicapped. You all the same.
Special treatment? I'm 3 foot fucking tall, you asshole. It's a matter of physics. Draw me a sketch of how I get him to the car, huh?
Bitch.
Sketch it up, you fucking moron. Fucking Leonardo da Vinci.
What you calling me, son?
I called you a fucking Guinea homo from the 15th fucking century, you dickhead.
You stick you in my ass, small fry.
Yeah? You sure it ain't too sore from last night?
You got some lip on you, mentioned.
Well, these lips were on your white pussy last night. Why don't you dust that thing off once in a while, asshole?
Oh my God, classic roast. That was when y'all seen the movie Bad Santa. That was when Bernie Mac, rest in peace, got into it with that midget. Bro, that shit was one of the most classic fucking roast of all time. Classic roast. I just laughed so hard I almost pissed myself. Do I like working overnights? Yeah, it's all right. I mean, you get used. So there's some nights where like you kind of dread it, but I drink half a cup of coffee at about 8 o'clock, so it kind of wakes me up. Oh yeah, I love Bernie Mac, man. Too bad he passed away, man. Guy's hilarious. It won't be the same without Bernie Mac. All right, man, King Twister. You have a wonderful night, bro. It's saying I got 17 people viewing me, but I only see 4 people on the live stream, so I don't know. I don't know who's on here still. Yeah, good night, man. It's been good seeing y'all, man. Real talk. Like I said, it's so all we have to watch now is basketball and baseball. And baseball season's coming up. I'm just a casual fan of baseball. I don't really have a team I root for. If I do root for a team, it's gonna be the Texas Rangers. But yeah, like I said, baseball, I watch baseball like the last month of the season. It's just too long. Let the whole season go by, and then when it's last month, the last 30 games, and teams are fighting for the pennant, division title, trying to make the playoffs. I'm like, okay. Hockey fan, not really. I used to watch Houston Aeros till they moved. And the Aeros left back in like 2013, I think. They went to Iowa, became the Iowa Aeros, and then now they got another name now. But the Aeros, I think, got one championship. They won back in like 2005. So. But the Aeros were not NHL. They were, they were AAA. AAA. Yep. Do you talk to anybody off of YouTube? You mean like they do videos? No. They got their own lives. I get on Moohead Radio every now and then we talk sports. But other than that, I haven't really done panels like I used to do with people. Nah. I would like to. I would like to start doing open panels, but it depends on who it is and what the conversation's about. Because if I go on their channel and they're saying all types of shit that's going to get me canceled, no, I'm not going to jump on it. Because you have to be very careful whose panel you're joining, especially if some of these video makers have enemies from a lot of people, and they see you get on there. You know what that means? Guilt by association. Then they start coming to fucking with you. Which is why a lot of the trolls that come to my channel to fuck with me only did that. Why? They started jumping on other panels of YouTubers who are not very well popular on here. And though it is my freedom of choice to go on a panel, but it's not my freedom of consequence. And for that, those trolls said, oh, hey, who's this guy? Let's go to his channel. And then now they do it to me. So it's like I kind of learned my lesson from that. Now it's like I'm very careful of who like fired from my job, being canceled. I have to start thinking about all that stuff. Why do you think you look on my channel and see a lot of my videos are gone? Reason for it. I have to. Why do you think I don't talk politics anymore? Why do you think I don't talk conspiracy theory videos? Why do you think all those are on private? There's a reason for it. And so I just, I don't want to go that route, but I have no choice right now. So I have to be very careful whose panel I join, because they may say something that's going to get them in trouble. And then because I'm on the channel, then that gets me in trouble. And this is just not worth it. So now I have to be very weary of whose channels I'm going on. What's the topic going to be about? And if they start going off rail and they start saying all this shit that's going to get them fired, I'm just going to have to say I'm logging off. So I'll log right off that channel. So I'm not playing around. It's just, it's not about reputation. It's just the principle. If I'm gonna do collabs with people, I'm gonna do it with people who are professional, not with people who are immature and childish and are known doxers, and people that have hundreds of sock accounts that are just fucking with other people, and then they want you to join their panel, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Because that's one of the issues I mainly have with some of these YouTubers that I join, is they're very childish. And it's like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. By no means I'm not. But these guys will have hundreds of thousands of accounts. They got nothing but trolls following them who do the exact same thing. And then it brings all that attention on your channel. And then they're like, oh, now they're part of the conversation. So then now it's just a vicious circle. So it's like, now I have to be very weary about jumping on certain panels. Like Mr. Moohead's a good one. He does a professional. He runs his shows professional. So I'd suggest y'all subscribe to Moohead Radio, and he does his shows Monday and Friday. And then there's a sample on my channel. It's on my videos, not live stream, but video link. And you can click on it and see the last discussion we had. You'll see what I mean by an example of somebody who's professional at what they do. So me and Moohead will have a discussion. Is there trolls that go in there? Absolutely. But Mr. Moohead is very professional, and he keeps the conversations within the professional means to where we can have these conversations, even if there's slight differential, and be able to, protect all of us. And so I like that. I like his professionalism. So I'm only going to join panels of people who are professional. If they're just going to troll and dox and be childish, then I'm not going to join their panel. And there's a ton of these YouTubers that are like that, unfortunately. And they want those easy 400 or 500 views with the drama, and then they want to bring other people into it because then it creates more of a controversy. It just is not healthy. So I'm going to now start to be more cautious about panel jumping. Whose panels I'm joining now. Because I just don't want none of that shit. I want to be able to have a professional discussion to where it's fun and entertaining and everybody is chiming in, regardless if there's a difference. And then be able to, have no worries on the back end, So that's why I sort of changed up my style, continuing to go that route. At the end of the day, you get back what you put into this world. So if you're the type of person that's a drama, who's a known doxer, drama, you're childish, and this is what your channel is all about, and you have all these hundreds of thousands of accounts just trolling other people for no reason, then I expect that you're going to get everything that you put in, you're going to get it right back. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And these YouTubers, they do these things, these childish things. And so that's why I said they're going to get the brunt end of it. At the end of the day, it's going to come back on them. And in fact, some of them are already experiencing that. So that's why I just said the best way for me now going forward is to navigate, do my own videos, my own content, and only engaging in people's podcasts who are professional and mature audience only. Rated M for mature, like that, if that's the term you want to use. So if their podcasts are trolling, doxing, being childish, starting unnecessary drama just for cheap views, then I'm just going to say, okay, I don't want nothing to do with it. No, thanks. I appreciate you inviting me, but I'll pass. So I'm just going to skip those video makers, and they can do whatever they want. And I'm just going to go in my own direction and do my own shit. So, but what is it like quitting energy drinks? Oh, it's phenomenal. I love it. I quit energy drinks about I quit energy drinks about 3 weeks ago, and I love it. I feel a lot better. I don't have the caffeine rush or addiction to caffeine. Yes, caffeine is a drug. I know some of you don't want to believe that, but technically it is for those of you who don't believe it. But I stopped taking energy drinks because I wanted to give up the caffeine rush. The first 2 days are going to suck. But after that caffeine rush will go away, or the caffeine, what they call caffeine withdrawal. You'll get a massive headache, a massive migraine. All you're going to want to do is sleep for 2 days straight. I had to go through it. So I was coming off the withdrawal. It's like a drug. It's almost like taking dope. It's like the same thing. Even though they say, well, the FDA approved caffeine as a legitimate source of energy. No, it's a drug. But a lot of people convince themselves that it's not a drug because it's been approved. It's the same thing with prescription medication. I'm not going to get hooked on my medication. I was legally prescribed to that. I was legally prescribed to Vicodin, and I was legally prescribed to Tramadol. I was legally prescribed to antidepressants. I was legally prescribed to all these pharmaceutical drugs for medication. I'm not saying they don't work, but they have long-term effects, and a lot of them is very addictive. And that's just one thing of it. And then there's the other forms of things that can happen with addiction. You get hooked on your medication, which is why I try to strive away from taking those meds. They prescribed me. I remember one time for kidney stones, they wanted to give me Vicodin, and I told them, no, I'm not taking it. So they said, okay, we'll give you tramadol. I'm like, I'm not taking that either. What are you going to take? I'm going to take ibuprofen. It's not addictive. Yes, it's a drug. Yes, it gives you a race, but it secretes the pain when you have to use the restroom to get rid of those calcium deposits. So I said, I'll just rather just take ibuprofen. I'm not taking tramadol. I'm not taking Lorcet, Volume, none of that shit. Because I've seen people get hooked up on their medication, and it's not a pretty sight. So last thing I want is to be hooked on it. And caffeine still technically is a drug. So coming off the caffeine was very hard. And so, yeah, I still used to have a little bit of caffeine because you need a little bit of energy. But I'm not taking high doses like I used to. So now I just drink half a cup of coffee in the morning and have half a cup of coffee when I go to work. And so that's how I do it. Marvin says, I saw your video on plantar fasciitis. That shit sucks. Oh, yeah, I have foot pain in my feet sometimes. So I use Dr. Scholl's to walk. Like, put in my shoes as extra, like, comfort and support. Gives you, like, that arch support. Without those Dr. Scholl's, man, my feet will be hurting like a mofo. And then it'll be hurting at the arch, right where like the bunion and the arch forms in your foot. Like your foot's kind of has like that ball in the back. And then it'll kind of curve up. And then you have that arch that goes down. And right in that bunion part, man, it's got that pain right there. It's sharp. It can get sharp. And like I said, sometimes you have to stretch the feet out. You have to ball your kind of like get your foot and curl your toes like this and scrunch it to work that muscle out. And foot pain is no joke. Shit sucks. So that's why you got to wear the proper shoes, and you got to put that Dr. Scholl's in your feet. So that way, like when you're walking, all that pounds per pressure is not bouncing on your foot, because your legs are literally like holding up your whole body. So every time you take a step, all that pounds per pressure is pounding on your feet. It's holding up your weight, essentially, which essentially is your dead weight, because dead weight doubles. So whatever your weight is, times it by 2, because you have what's called dead weight, because your weight is relaxed, so it weighs more. So you're walking on double your weight, and it's putting pressure on your feet. They call it pounds per pressure. It's like so many pounds per pressure on your feet, depending on your weight. And it can really wear and tear on the feet. Oh, yeah, so that's why Dr. Scholl's helps. Wearing proper tennis shoes helps with plantar fasciitis. Yeah, it sucks. But it helps. Otherwise your feet will be hurting really bad. There was one time my feet were hurting so bad that I couldn't even walk for 3 days. It was that bad. Because I wasn't wearing the proper shoes and I was walking too fast and my feet would just flare up. And I would get that ball and roll my feet under it. And you could literally feel like the tightness, like swelling of it underneath. It was bad. Now I stretch out a lot. I walk. I get my steps in. And so I get a lot of that work and I multitask. So it kind of helps get the blood flow going. So, like I said, it's important. Your physical health is very important, even though I need to start, taking care of that a little bit more. Yeah, coming off energy drinks was the best decision ever. I'm happy. All right, does anyone have any questions or anything they want to say before I go? Yay, nay. 2 hour and 38-minute conversation. Good stream, Rose. I try. I'm trying my best. Rachel said, where did you get the cowboy hat from? Well, really, it's my brother's cowboy hat. He gave it to me, just to wear for the video. Just want to see what people thought about my cowboy hat. But, I mean, I like the cowboy hat. It looks nice. Does it not? I think it looks okay. It don't look that bad. No, look all right. The cowboy hat. Why not? I just need the outfit to match. All right. I just need a legitimate outfit to match that cowboy hat, and I'm good to go. But it's okay. It's not bad. I know tons of people that wear cowboy hats. You know, everybody likes cowboy hats. Who doesn't like cowboy hats? Come on now. I plan on getting a really good cowboy hat. No, I'm gonna get a cowboy hat, probably like one that's probably a little bit more costlier, but there's a lot more work into it. Probably get like a nice little $200 cowboy hat. Yeah, I plan on doing that. We all need a vacation. That absolutely is correct, Marvin. Everybody wants a vacation. Not everybody gonna get one. Can you believe it's already 1:45 a.m. in the morning right now? And I am tired. Like I said, on my off days, I usually go to bed early. Today, I just wanted to just cover a video on Eagles football, talk about the Super Bowl, and, give my thoughts to it. And I think pretty much I said everything I had to say in regards to that. So, unless there's any questions y'all want to ask me, then I'm going to pretty much wrap it up in a bit. Is there any questions y'all got, or do I need to go? See, now I took the hat off. Now, cowboy hat's gone. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get a new cowboy hat tomorrow. I'm probably not my next check. Any of y'all have any questions or what? Or should I wrap it up? Because no one's really commenting anymore. Kind of like died down. Everybody just turned into watchers. They haven't really turned into like somebody who wants to comment and engage. Engage is the word. Engage is the word of the day. Engage in conversation. Rachel said, whatever happened to your friend Christina? You know what? I haven't seen her in a minute. I think the last time I saw her, and I shit you not, was last year. I think that I made a video on New Year's for 2024. That was the last time I saw her. And I think that hi, and we talked for like briefly, I think. And then after that, I never saw her again. I shit you not. Never ever saw her again. Now, if she was watching my videos in, let's say, silence, like I do with a lot of these YouTubers, I watched her videos without commenting, perhaps, maybe she was doing that. But I wouldn't know, because I don't really talk to her. I haven't seen her, Jesus. Like I said, the last time she appeared on my live stream was when I did the countdown for the 2023-2024 year. I was doing my New Year's resolution, talking about what I wanted to do for that year. And I think she joined the panel. Didn't join it, she joined the live stream chat room, but I haven't seen her since. So that's been about 14 months ago. Like I said, the way that this works, people come and go. That's just the way it is. It's no sense to explain it. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've been on YouTube since like 2013, 2014. I've been there a long time. And one thing is for certain, people come and go. This is not constant. And people are not entitled to watch your content. People come and go. They find other content makers, or they just have new things in their life that just come out of the ordinary. I can't explain it. I don't know. I can't give you the answers for why people come and go. That's just part of the game. You just have to accept it. If they want to come in, then they can come in. And if they don't, all power to them. I wish them the best. That's all you can do. It ain't nothing to sweat over. It's life. Now, does that mean that if she don't come in the stream and say hello, then she's more welcome to? And I'll say, hey, how you doing, Christina? I haven't seen you in 14 months. How you been? I'm not gonna hold a grudge and say, why didn't you comment on my videos? I haven't seen you in so long. Man, we got time for that shit. Like, come on, stop. We're all adults here. She got a life. I got a life. We all have lives. It's the way it is. It's the name of the beast. I don't force people to come on here. If they want to, it's their own free will. All you can do is wish people the best. That's it. At this time, this stage in the game, whatever happens, happens. Understand? It's the way life works. There's some very good YouTubers that I've known over the years that have either died. Rest in peace, Charlie Wolfcow. It's a good one. It's definitely a one. I talked to him a day before he died. He caught COVID and was messaging me and saying he caught COVID and was coughing up a storm, and the next day he died. And people say, you're going to make a video on it? I'm like, I could, but what's the point? It is what it is. Death is imminent. And I feel bad that he passed. Don't get me wrong, I'm not, rude about it, but it's unfortunate. I would have loved to meet the guy. But circumstances happen, and, it'll be the same for me. It's the same for all of us. Everybody has a shelf life. There's no, that's just the name of the game. It's the nature of the beast. It's life. Unexpected things happen. But I've seen, in all my tenure, I've been on YouTube making videos, content. I've seen people come and go. And there's some people who have been here for a long time on my channel. And they'll come off and on. I've seen YouTubers very talented, that barely had 200-300 subs and were some of the greatest video makers I've ever seen. And they just left one day, never came back. Talented guys that should have had 100,000 followers, they just decided this just wasn't where their heart was. Just it's the nature of the beast. It's life. All right, well, I'm gonna head out because I'm getting tired. I want to go to bed, and I want to appreciate everybody who joined the stream, who's watching, all the 7 viewers. Don't know who's still on. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm tired. Now I'm gonna get some sleep. You're gonna contact me, Facebook, Instagram. I really don't get on Instagram. Well, I will get on Instagram if I get a DM, but I mainly get on Facebook. My Facebook mainly, like, where it's popping, where people will follow me and DM me and shit like that and get a hold of me. Facebook's always the easiest. For some of you have my number, you know what I'm saying? The Facebook possibly is the easiest way to get a hold of me. That or Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So you guys, y'all have a good night, man. And unless y'all have any questions or anything, I'll take a couple more. But nobody's really commenting right now. So I'm just assuming it's just going to be time for me to wrap it up anyway. So, does anyone got a question? Yes, no, maybe so. Probably not. Yeah, I don't expect y'all to. It's damn near late. Will you have sex with me? No, I will not. I appreciate the offer, though, but no, thank you. That's a troll. I swear. You guys come up with some funny shit, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Some of you trolls, you come up with some hilarious shit. Yeah. No, thank you. I appreciate the offer, though. At least somebody thinks I'm good looking. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna head out of here. So you guys take care. Y'all be safe. And I'll see y'all, tomorrow? Or some other time, whenever that time is. I don't know exactly when that time will be, but I'll see y'all around. God bless. Hell no, I'm not going to sit here and